in the actual footage. Hello, everyone. By the way, you don't see him wiping up his spunk at any point.
Where'd it go?
Well, hey everyone, welcome to another happy hour.
You don't need to know that.
What an
story,
intro!
right? It's all good. Yeah.
We, for those of you who are just joining us, we're finishing the conversation we had about the video from the last video with our very special guest, Dusty Smith. Welcome to the happy hour.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's the intro. Okay.
Well, and the segue there would be, we're glad you came too, but in a different way.
Oh, I appreciate it. I think your audience hates me. I saw like you advertised it, and it was like 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. So
no, that's just
50,
my channel.
50 hate. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we could put up a video called something like "Cute Puppies and Kittens," and it would get instantly 3 or 4 downvotes.
Fuck those kittens.
Yeah, SJW kittens. Fuck them.
People find it very important to like sort of hate follow the channel just to do like 2 little thumbs down because it's meaningful to them.
Mm-hmm. I have those same people follow me around all the time, so I know your pain.
Yeah,
They're on Facebook all the time telling me what a piece of shit I am. It's like, why are you following me then?
Exactly. Like, what do
you
you
better
do?
to do? I guess I'm interesting. Gotta give me that.
The best thing you can do with your life is hate me. You need to get some hobbies.
That is your hobby. That's cool. Whatever you got to do to get through the day, dude.
So, shall we start off with real news, or should we talk about some silly news? Do you want to start with Candace, Kevin? Because I know
I love Candace. I'm a huge fan.
We've got 2 videos.
Very smart.
Oh.
Yeah,
I just want to say Hitler did nothing wrong except for globalism. If he would have just kept his genocide and killing of Jews inside Germany, he'd have been perfectly fine with me. But he decided to spread that shit, and I have a big problem with that.
And you think that that's a joke, but if you aren't following the news, that's a pretty accurate summary of what Candace has been caught saying. So I've got
you say that. It's not even being caught saying. She was speaking into a microphone in front of people. This wasn't being caught. This was actually just saying. This was her actual belief.
And then double down on it.
Yeah. Like if you get caught in private saying someone's a dick, like that's one thing. You say, okay, it's a hot mic situation, but she's on stage here.
Mm-hmm.
With the smallest. Well, I can't work out whether he's got the smallest face in the world or a normal sized face and a massive head. It's one of the two, and I can't quite work it out.
Massive head, big watermelon baby.
Yeah, but just a normal sized face, it looks weird.
So, Kevin, you want to talk about the American invasion that is Turning Point UK?
Oh, Turning Point UK has been brilliant. It's for me set up the most fantastic array of trolling I've ever seen. Basically, Turning Point USA, those of the famous diaper protest. That's an actual thing that happened. They decided to branch out into the UK, and people went, "Nah, we're not having this shit." So they just set up loads of Twitter accounts with fake turning points, and it's impossible to tell the real ones from the parodies. Would tell you how absurd they are as an actual organisation.
Isn't that globalism though? Are they spreading that over there to give it America?
Well, my favourite tweet of all time from what's her name, McCarthy, who was saying that there's she was so glad to have a union of international nationalists. I don't even know where to
Galaxy
begin.
brain.
Yeah, that is the stupidest thing ever. Yeah, amazing.
Oh, love these enemies. I love these people though because they're like the greatest enemies. I mean. Could you have a better fucking set of enemies than these moronic motherfuckers?
Oh, Candace just... all right. So should we just play through her glorious dumbness?
Yeah, when you're on a stage with Charlie Kirk and you look like the stupid one, you've done something desperately bad.
Well done. You deserve an award for that.
Yeah, that is. It almost goes full circle and becomes genius, like a work of art or something.
A bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
All right, let's see. We're gonna do the audio on the fly, so we'll do a test here, see how it goes, and if it sounds okay, I'll expand the screen.
Yeah, I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets the definition gets poisoned.
Instantly, I'm just straight away. Even before we get into the Hitler stuff, I haven't had a problem with the term nationalism.
Immediate stop.
Yeah, this is.
That's Kevin. All over. He's always stopping.
Also, is she wearing hammer pants?
They do have an interest. They have kind of like they're not big enough, I don't think.
Stop.
But that is an awesome breakdown, though. But Kevin, you were saying
or she could just stop. That would be enough. She doesn't need to do the hammer time. Just
stop. Go away.
Yeah. So
that with nationalism.
The fact that she has a problem with nationalism. Yeah. Doesn't have a problem with nationalism. Everything, even if we ignore Hitler, even if we pretend Hitler never happened, tell me any other nationalists where it worked out really fucking well. Please do tell me those examples because I'm dying to hear.
North Korea.
Not a great track record.
Yeah. Also, these are the same people who are going about Hitler being a socialist. So, I mean, could you choose which one? Choose which one of yours.
It's right there in the title. The National Socialist. So,
Right.
Wait a minute. Oh,
And having mentioned North Korea, I love that because the obvious go-to is, so North Korea is a democratic people's republic then. Sorted. Sounds amazing. Let's go there.
it's right in the title. It has to be. It's completely democratic.
And I think
elected by the people.
it's a damn shame that they cut the wings off those buffaloes for the buffalo wings. That's terrible. Terrible.
Everything is literally
But
true.
they're so delicious.
Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. He was a National Socialist. But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. He was a cool dude. He just liked Germany. He just wanted his people to be prosperous and help them out. You know?
I like the charitable interpretation of that is she was just saying, well, if he was just being nice inside Germany, well, yeah, okay, that's fine. But also, it'd be fantastic if I was 7 foot tall and the most fantastic basketball player ever. It's not true, is it? It's not. It's not. It doesn't comport with reality in any sense.
All right, my 12-inch penis agrees. So.
Exactly.
But the thing with Hitler, it's, the economic stimulus came from his war machine. One of the first things he did was eliminate trade unions because he hated the communists. So all these domestic policies, they weren't good. Like the things that he did that people say were, beneficial to the German people were based on bad things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm trying to avoid, given the conversation we had before, is anyone saying the sentence, you got to give it to Hitler.
He was an excellent painter, so got to give it to him, really.
Well, you got to give it to him. He had fantastic mustache work.
I think someone did that for him, to be fair.
Excellent posture.
Exactly.
All right, so let's continue with the.
Did you ever see him in an unironed pair of trousers or shirt or anything? Crisp.
Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking.
What I especially love about her term, it's globalism. It's all this shit. It's the fact that they're not even trying to hide it's about Jews. It's about the Jews. It's definitely, like it's so bizarre. Is Kristi died? Is that what happened here?
What? No, I didn't.
I thought you'd died. Sorry. I thought you, because no one was reacting, and I thought, well, either I'm really out on a limb here, or well, I don't know.
Sorry, I wasn't chortling. Sorry, that's the word. Enough.
What?
Got to chime in more often. Let him know you're alive.
Exactly. Otherwise, he has to check in with his. This is the usual thing. Are you still awake? Are you still there?
Yeah, exactly. Women often fall asleep on me, so I have to make sure.
At least you can see me. So you guys need to get on video. We can see your beautiful faces.
Oh, you don't want to see. Oh, I haven't got my makeup on or anything. It's terrible. And everyone knows how much I put a lot of work into my appearance all the time. So.
Hours before the mirror for that hair. Hours.
That's why I wear a hat all the time. No brushing my hair.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not saying I'm sat in blackface because that's not true. But
I think you're in blueface, like Will Smith, which is a tragedy.
Oh, the blackface thing's so funny. All these people bringing up White Chicks, which is always funny because White Chicks is a hilarious movie. Not in the way they intended, but
greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, it's high art. It's up there with Picasso and all sorts. It's the Renoir of the 21st century. I can't even remember what century it was made in.
It is the same exact thing. Remember back in the 20s and 30s with all the actors putting on white face and making fun of white women. Right. My people have suffered enough of this bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah. And all those white people enslaved for being white. Oh no, that was a different thing.
I knew I was old. I could just say I knew I was old when someone on Twitter was like, "You guys, this was like 30 years ago, and things have changed." And I went, "Yeah, I remember 1984.
It was the 80s. It was different. It wasn't that different. It was a little different, but."
Also, is there anyone in Virginia who hasn't done blackface? Can they find anyone?
It's going to be hard to find. All they have to do is open yearbooks. But other than that, it's going to be really hard to find.
I mean, when they said they wanted more black representation in high office, I don't think this is quite what they meant.
No.
Delegate.
Maybe be a bit more specific in future, is what I would suggest.
Should we get back to Candace then?
Oh, yes.
Love her.
We can make a 1 minute clip last 15 minutes.
I have a crush. Please say more of this goddess for me.
Here we go.
Speaking German, everybody look a different way. That's not, to me, that's not nationalism. So in thinking
That's
about
okay. Yeah. You can just redefine it to mean whatever you want it to mean. That's fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she's saying that
I don't have a problem with genocide, because genocide just means eating ice cream. It's fine. It's all good.
She said he wanted everyone to speak German.
Gelato side.
Delicious genocide.
He wanted everyone to
Two scoops of genocide. Sorry.
Yeah, give me a bowl of chocolate chip genocide, please. If you can.
All right. So getting back to what she actually said. Sorry, that's all right.
Well, that's basically what she said. She said, "Oh, it's not nationalism because I've arbitrarily decided it's not nationalism." Even though this was the example she picked of what nationalism was, and then she's now saying it's not nationalism. Okay. No one mentioned Hitler. She brought it up.
Just out of the blue.
What
you know what I like about Hitler? No, wait.
Yeah, let me back that up. Wait, I didn't start
right
off
there,
right.
Yeah. All I'm saying is a man who wears nothing but Hugo Boss, stylish. That's all I'm going to say.
They were kind of stylish. Got to give them that. Those uniforms, according to Sargon, were really cool. It made them cool too. So.
Well, they were literally designed by Hugo Boss. That's
yeah.
They were stylish.
They were definitely stylish. I gotta give them that. Doesn't make them cool because they're stylish uniforms, though. You know,
I mean, they were less stylish when they were speckled in people's blood and stuff.
Exactly,
but,
because of the genocide and whatnot, makes it slightly less cool. But
everyone focuses on the millions.
I know you're focusing on the wrong shit, dude.
Crazy.
Don't focus on the ovens. Focus on the blue jeans and the.
Here's a weird historical piece of information. It wasn't just sort of officers and people in the military that wore uniforms. A lot of people apparently in Nazi Germany wore uniforms. So even the railway employees wore uniforms that, because there was like a crime, I was like reading some true crime about this, a serial killer in Nazi Germany. It was hard to tell which uniform it was in the dark. They just gave out uniforms to everybody. It sounds like at that point.
Yeah, well, look stylish. I want a uniform. Reminds me of that episode of Andy Griffith. You ever seen it where the town drunk wants a uniform and he starts throwing rocks through windows? They give him a uniform. I'm too old. That's an old ass reference. I'm sorry. I've dated myself.
That's all right. I see that on reruns and stuff when I go back, so I know it's still on air. And
I'm from Mississippi. You have to watch Andy Griffith if you're in Mississippi. So.
It's a rule.
Yeah.
So the point was, she was complaining, or she was saying that Hitler wanted to export German culture, and that's not nationalism. But, demanding cultural homogeny within your borders, that's okay, I think, is what she was.
So what if you spread your entire borders all across the globe and then you were a nationalist to the globe? Is that not the same exact shit?
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't know the difference between globalism and expansionism. But
also, I think that's sort of fascinating. It always does strike me when you get these kind of civic nationalists who are black people in America, because you think if homogeneity is going to happen, you're the people that are going to have to completely change, because you're not the majority. So that doesn't make sense to me why you would want that necessarily, unless you're like a black person with Stockholm syndrome or something. I don't know.
It seems to me that,
yeah.
It seems to me Carl's idea of British nationalism is sort of freeze power as it currently is before any more women, or we call them BME representatives or whatever, get more power in Britain. He just wants to lock it in so that the white man stays on top. That seems to me his British.
Works for me. I don't have problems with that.
Well, but the white man is the white man is the oppressed minority. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's right. True. He is
every day of my life. I know.
Exactly. I have to feel the boot of black people on my neck constantly.
Carl did say to the BBC, "I am the vulnerable minority."
He literally said that. He actually said that to the BBC.
Yeah, but he doesn't mean anything he says. He's just saying whatever he thinks will get a rise out of liberals and feed the red meat of his audience. I don't believe he believes a single fucking word that comes out of his mouth. Just like she doesn't. She doesn't believe any of this shit. You know what? No. A couple years ago, she was like a liberal, right? She was like a socialist or something, and now, it's just a grift. Like, how can they not see through this? It's so fucking obvious.
Yeah, if they use the right buzzwords, and they don't even have to know anything, because the script has already been laid out for them.
But this wasn't part of the script. She went off script.
No, this is the problem with not knowing what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're gonna have to fucking talk, and it's not gonna go well for you if you don't know shit.
Yeah, this has to be the interview that killed her career, because there's no way this is. This
It
isn't
won't.
gonna,
Not with
They
it.
don't, they don't give a shit. They do not give a
I
shit.
don't know, man.
All they
Okay.
care about is that she'll come back tomorrow and say something that triggers the libs, according to them, and they'll
Well,
fucking.
mate, but as we saw with Milo, if you're part of some minority, which obviously, as an African American, she is, you're useful so far as you're not tainted in some sense. And now she
He had to go to
is
pedo before they booted him. He had to
Yeah.
talk about
true,
sex with
true. But you got to bear in mind these people are very, very pro-Zionist as well. So doing the kind of Nazi apology probably doesn't play very well, I would suggest.
Well, that's true, but it hurt Trump, so no,
That's yeah, that's
so,
true.
And then she's in the Trump crowd, so they just don't seem to give a shit. You know?
No,
Yeah.
no, not
And
for people on their
it's
side.
not as if there are huge numbers of black people looking to jump into that position either. So
No, they're going to
No.
replace her with Tommy Sotomayor.
I don't know if he's got the tits for it, to be honest. I don't know if he's got that kind of sex appeal to him.
You can get fat and grow them out.
That's true.
Get a bro instead of a bra.
Get broke.
A man's ear.
Gender reassignment. That'll work out well for her.
All right, so let's see if we can get through how much we can get through before Kevin interrupts.
Sure.
People bad down the line. I don't really have an issue with nationalism. I really don't. I think that it's okay. It's important to retain your country's identity and to make sure that what's happening here, which I think is incredibly worrisome in terms of the decrease in the birth rate that we're seeing in the UK.
A bit of dog whistle, little dog whistle there to the fucking the race science people. Yeah.
Why don't they, I mean, it seems to me they always want to sort of demonize the birth rate among non-whites or brown people, black people. But where's the sort of like, hey, lazy white people, why aren't you having more babies? It's never quite
Well,
that in their face.
That's
Because they're
go
too
on.
busy giving all our money to the welfare people. So they're having all the babies and we can't afford it because they're robbing us. That's why. Fucking darkies, man. You guys don't even know.
But I always say it's like with the panda. If people aren't fucking, they die out. It's very simple.
Yeah, that's what I tell white people. Nobody's stopping you guys from fucking. What are you talking about, dude? Get out there and
Exactly.
fuck.
That's
They're
the
like,
thing with the white genocide nonsense. It's not a genocide. White people just are deciding they don't want to have babies.
Exactly.
That's entirely their business.
If you look generationally, younger people have fewer sex partners than our generation that's one generation ahead of them. Right? They're spending more time online than they are getting laid.
Right. You have unlimited porn, dude.
That
It's
is like
Well, not just that, but boring.
nothing
Boring
to do with
fuckers.
any ethnicity. That's just
Go out
actually
and
technology.
go out and fuck, you lazy.
It's
cunt.
so
What's
much
wrong with
easier just to masturbate, though. It's like, seriously, like I've been out with some really beautiful women, but nothing I ever had to do to get those women was worth it. Masturbation gives you about 50% of the experience for 1% of the work. So, crank that shit, dude. It's fun.
Now, I've got no problem with people jerking it, but I mean, it's I don't even want people to have babies. I'd be more than happy for humanity to die out. We're killing the planet, but just go out and fuck. It is.
I'm
fun.
pro humanity. I like people. I don't want us to die out, but I think there's an equilibrium we could find here.
Yes. Like
Live and not kill the planet.
if you also
Well,
look at
if that gets
they are
found,
going down
fantastic.
globally.
But one surefire way of saving the planet is to kill all people in the world.
Yeah. Or
just
globalism
saying.
actually would be a good step.
I'm just saying.
Globalism,
Under the old definition of genocide, if we kill all of the people, then
It's like, I don't hate black people. I hate all people.
exactly.
Well,
But
equal opportunity hater.
I want to do species side, really, not genocide.
population discussion is always framed in terms of the threat, and it never actually deals with the causes, which are primarily economic. When you give people access to reproductive, things that they control, they have fewer kids and they have them spaced out so that they're not exhausted all the time.
Look at Charlie Kirk's face there.
Is what you kind of want to avoid.
Weirdly spaced, right?
Do I have to?
But that his face goes off the side of the screen. There's more face there.
At least he's tall and has nice hair. Come on.
He
He's
does
a
have nice.
handsome-ish fellow.
If it was normally proportioned, yeah, I'd fuck him. But it's not.
I'd
It's
do
weird.
it. I'd like to be the top.
I think Kevin would go either way.
He could be my turning point. He could be my turning point. So
Good term. Look at those lips, man. Sexy. Give him a chance.
I wonder what's going through his mind. Is he's like, don't talk about Hitler. Don't talk about Hitler.
It's like that bit from The Simpsons where it goes into Simpson's mind and it's just that mechanical monkey crashing symbols together. That's Charlie Kirk's mind.
Every
Right
time
now.
I see him, I just think P is stored in the balls. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
All right. The last bit of Candace.
So I don't have anything problem. I have no problems with nationalism. It's globalism that I try to avoid.
So stupid.
Oh, that wasn't. Oh, so go on. Just yeah.
Nationalism is simply a pep rally where you root for your side because you happen to go to that school. It's ridiculous. We obviously should look at all the countries in the world and take the best from all cultures and make the best ultimate culture from all of that, not just stick to what we got because it's what we've always done.
Yeah. And the thing that was missing from that clip, because she goes on to say, going about Hitler trying to spread, he wasn't trying to spread Germany or German culture or something across its world. You think, yeah, he was. He was trying to literally wipe out the people that were there
all
and
he was
replace
trying to
them
do.
with German. Yeah,
exactly. Trying to nationalize the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically.
But what's wrong with globalism? That's my question. I'm actually a globalist. Like, I love Star Trek, and I want our society to eventually become like Star Trek, and eventually it's going to happen. I mean, it's absolutely inevitable. Eventually, we're going to become one world people. Can you imagine if aliens landed on this planet and realized we were still divided in different countries and different people instead of being all one? They'd be like, holy shit, you guys are still so fucking primitive, and we are. Well, that's eventually it will happen.
Well, that's why we haven't landed on their planets; they've landed on ours because we've held back by this nonsense. Yeah.
There's also this sort of weird idea that if people move around, you're going to lose culture. When I go to the Canary Islands, they still have their national holidays and their dances and their history, and there's stuff that's going to be retained in a local area, regardless of the people moving through it. And some of the new people are going to adapt. Like, I go to Cologne Carnival now, and I party like a Cologne person.
Well, the difference is the people that are really offended by this are often essentially WASPs, and the reason they are scared of that to some degree is because that's what they did when they moved into an area. They did wipe out the indigenous culture, and they're
we don't want everyone else to treat them.
Yeah, exactly. They think everyone else is going to be just as horrific. But
hopefully they won't be. As a whitey, I hope nobody treats me the way that whiteys have treated others
throughout history.
Exactly. When white people become the minority in America, which is going to happen, I think last week it happened. I was told on Fox News. Then white people are probably going to find out that actually it doesn't work exactly the way white people made it work. It doesn't have to be that way. Hopefully.
As
long as we keep white supremacy and keep control of everything, we'll be fine.
Well, and part of that is in language. I noticed that there's a lot of mention so far that we've just come across, like the 400th anniversary, and they say about Africans arriving on our shores. Like, you mean slaves? First slaves.
Welcome to our country. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the first Africans went there on holiday. Yeah, and
then never left.
And they never fucking left. Jesus Christ!
Your kids were born into the same thing. Yeah. For generation after generation, so it's just that kind of wanting to soften the past.
A different version of anchor babies. They were brought there by ships that had anchors, so that's different type of anchor baby, really, if you think about it.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, did you see? Oh my God, Stefan Molyneux's tweet about slavery.
Yeah, just actually, I Facebooked it.
I didn't. What did he say?
God, he's reached levels of white supremacist nonsense that I didn't think even he was capable of. He was basically saying that black people were.
I can read it to you. I have it right here.
Please do.
And he says, "Who is worse, the drug dealer ? Or the drug user ? When it came to slavery, blacks were the dealers, whites were the users."
What?
That's what he said.
Yeah, I'm so glad you reacted to that because that was exactly what I did.
There's like so many problems with that. Oh my God! First of all, humans are not drugs, dipshit.
Yeah, humans are not drugs. That's not a medical. It's owning human beings is not a medical condition. No, that's a different matter.
There's nothing wrong with buying or selling drugs, in my opinion. So the fact they're legal is most of the problem, or illegal rather. So
yeah, and drugs aren't like independent beings that deserve rights and stuff. There's a completely different exchange going on there.
Sorry. Is he saying that because Africans were just so tempting as slaves, the whites couldn't help themselves and they got addicted to slavery?
No, he's saying that the black people who sold the slaves to the white people are actually worse than the white people that bought the slaves. I think that's
black people are the only ones, because apparently the white people had no choice in the matter. It would appear.
Because they weren't taking off to actually sell those people. They weren't the people looking for the supply.
Exactly. They're the users. Being a user is better than being a supplier.
What? No,
they were the suppliers too, but I mean even if they weren't, it's still stupid. It's stupid at so many levels that I need charts and diagrams to really explain it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my head hurts already.
Yeah, exactly. But imagine that. Imagine that fucking tweet being sent by a guy who genuinely thinks of himself as a libertarian. Like, suck a dick. You're the
And then
most boot-licking piece of shit I've ever seen. Fuck off.
And then I posted a couple of pictures of Joe Rogan hugging him, being all buddy with him. I mean, I used to really like Joe Rogan, but at this point, kind of fuck Joe Rogan a bit, you know? I'm tired of him putting these right-wing shitheads on, not grilling them enough, and letting them just spout, you know, horrific bullshit with little to no pushback and no correction when he finds out he's wrong later.
Yeah, well, not just that, but you think they do research, because with the Alex Jones spat they've had recently, that was all about the fact that he'd lied to Rogan on his podcast about denying or saying that Sandy Hook was a false flag. Now,
Alex Jones, of course he fucking lied to you. Every word of his mouth is a fucking lie, dude. Are you just now catching on to this?
Well, not just that, but if you were going to ask him about that on the podcast, surely you just quickly research. A 30-second Google search would have found you clips of him saying that.
Doesn't do any of that. Doesn't fucking research any of the people he has on. He just lets them sit on there and talk and run their mouth like he did with Jordan Peterson. Yeah. Like he did with fucking, what's that guy's name? Oh, that musician who held the machine gun and told.
Oh, Ted.
Ted Nugent. Yeah, he had Ted Nugent on there. Nugent was lying his ass off about vegans. And they've actually done scientific studies that prove that what he was saying was lying. And Rogan was like, damn, that's a good point, man. You're making some good points here. No, we're not. Just research, Joe. Fuck, dude. Come on. You have a responsibility. You have a large show. You have one of the largest podcasts in the world. And you have a responsibility to your audience not to spread bullshit or allow bullshit to spread on your show, especially bullshit that harms society, dude. You have to fucking step up and be better than that. And if you're not going to be better than that, then fuck yourself.
Yeah. Although it was funny when he told Carl to shut up about Anita. That was funny. I have to say.
Yeah, I'm going to call it Crowder a fuckface. That was pretty funny.
But then he did go out of his way to basically apologize for Carl dropping N-bombs by saying it was a poorly thought out. And then his co-host was like, yeah, this guy needs to take a class to learn how to be fucking articulate. He just called it like he saw it.
Technically, that is true. It was poorly thought out in that it wasn't thought out at all.
And the fact that it's
everything
Carl.
He says.
Yeah. Par for the course. I wanted to talk about Carl a little bit. We'll talk about that later, I guess. But I had some more questions about your interview with him. I wanted to.
Well, we can bring it up now. Otherwise, we're just back to Candace. So that's fine.
Yeah, I actually thought your point bringing up about modernity when you were talking to him was actually an excellent point. And I thought that it probably needed to be expounded upon because he kind of didn't seem to know what the fuck you were talking about. And his audience really needs to hear the message you were talking about. So I kind of want to talk a little bit more about that. So basically, maybe I'll try to explain what I think you were trying to say, and you can tell me if I'm an idiot or expound upon it. So what you're talking about is in light of modernity, is it wrong that we should logically try to re-examine our gender roles to see if, they still fit in our modern society? And what I think you're getting at is like, we live in a modern society now. We have advanced technology. And so we're not as dependent on gender roles, classical gender roles like we once were. Like, for example, several hundred years ago, women needed more protection than they do nowadays. So, and since women are biologically more often weaker,
more vulnerable,
more vulnerable, exactly.
Yeah.
They were more required to have men around for protection. But now we have things like guns and a police force, and women are much less need men for that kind of protection because of modernity. So if we have all these technological advances, it's not logical that we re-examine these traditional gender roles and see if they still fit with our modern society. Is that what you're kind of getting at?
Basically, yeah, that nature forced a lot of these things on us, and now we've liberated ourselves both by becoming self-aware and things like birth control and the way that, force has been leveled out. And like you said, retribution, all that stuff we've outsourced that to the police now. So we have a criminal justice system and crime rates. Women are much safer, than they have been in the past. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's certainly better. Given that, and women's, we know that they can be educated and they can hold down jobs and they can earn money and everything else. Should we re-examine what equality means and when, gender roles are appropriate? So yeah, you nailed it on the head.
And I think he kind of gave a naturalistic fallacy answer, which him and Jordan Peterson, they do a lot. They're like, well, let's let nature sort it out. Just nature has designed these things over generation and generation, and we should just leave it alone. But for one thing, we are part of nature. So whatever we decide to do, that is still nature. And also, for those that don't know what a naturalistic fallacy is, it's declaring that because something's natural, it's good, which is retarded. Cyanide is natural. Doesn't mean it's good. So stupid on so many levels from Carl, but there was a very important point I thought you made that I think probably went over a lot of his audience's head.
Yeah, well, I agree, and thanks for bringing it up again. And I'm glad you brought it up. Kevin, you want to jump in on that at all?
No.
No comments.
But I think, when people talk about the destruction of the traditional family, and also those appeals to let's just let nature sort it out. Well, when you're a man and you're physically bigger, it is, it's a default empowerment of you to say, let's just go back to let nature sort it out or let nature guide us. And we are able now with our abilities to balance that out a bit more. So yeah, more can. Oh, go ahead.
I used to be kind of in the anti-SJW movement, and I used to think all this was SJW bullshit. And then I started kind of listening to the arguments, like about intersexual feminism and toxic masculinity and all these concepts before that I thought were bullshit. And then as I started listening, I was like, okay, well, this all makes complete fucking sense. Why did I think this was bullshit before? And the more you start listening and more realizing it's not bullshit, everybody's like, oh, you're SJW now. You're SJW now.
You're thinking.
Okay, fine. If that's the insult for thinking and researching and being open-minded to other people's viewpoints, then okay, I accept that badge. I'll be an SJW.
The whole point of Turning Point UK is to start attacking universities in Britain the way that they attack intellectuals on campuses here.
Yeah. For some reason, the conservatives have a huge anti-intellectual, strain now. I guess they've always had it, but it's become much more popular, and they just ignore the fact that they're just anti-science, anti-intellectuals these days. They pretend like they're not. They pretend like it's the left that's that way when it's so obvious not that way.
Yeah, that comes right out of a religious tradition, though, right?
Yes.
That kind of thinking. You reject science in favor of faith.
But it used to not be accepted, especially in the skeptic community. It would be these were the first people we would bash and try to destroy logic and reasons. But now they're they become the cool kids in the community. It's just it's so strange to watch.
Yeah, the point I've made before, and I think it was only further underlined when Trump passed all this fucking not legislation, but executive orders about religious education in schools. Overtly Christian education, is that the very people who used to mock and pwn that kind of shit back in the day are now supporting Donald Trump, who's literally implementing it.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of why I had to get away from it all. When that started happening, I was like, okay, well, this is against everything we built the community on. In the back of the day, the atheist community, I was proud to be, part of what I consider to be the foundation of the internet atheist community. And I was excited about it. And then it changed so drastically. And I was like, oh my God, I have to get the fuck away from these people. I cannot be associated with this anymore. It's really, really disheartening to watch.
I thought I was joining a movement of humanism and reason. And it's just a lot of the same old chauvinisms, end of the day, but dressed up in naturalistic fallacies.
Right. It became all these grifters who figured out where the money was. And so they just started making content, and saying shit that they don't really believe, but just pandering to their audience, and it snowballed out of control. And that's where we are today.
In a lot of ways, it is identity politics. Dismissing toxic masculinity is a form of identity politics against feminism, and dismissing intersectionality is a way to dismiss oppression through a sort of conservative white male identity politics without actually having to claim any politics.
Yeah,
you could just be by being against the change.
Yeah, well,
pretend you're on both sides of it. Or pretend you're on one side when you're actually on the other. Actually.
Yeah, it's white people whinging a lot of the time, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they show their true colors. Carl pretended to be on the left and then he joined UKIP,
Yeah.
And then drove out the moderate UKIPers.
Yeah.
He's one of these lefties that only supports right-wing candidates. You know how that is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. He's so left-wing that he literally forced Nigel Farage out of UKIP. I mean, that's amazing. Oh, God.
Super lefty Carl.
Yeah.
It's all just bullshit. I see him right through him for years, and I got called so many names by his cult members, I guess, big a name for them, by saying that he's obviously not a lefty. He's obviously a right-wing douchebag. And they were like, no, man, he's a liberal. He's a liberal. No, dude. Shut the fuck up with that bullshit. Now, if you don't know by now that Carl is just your typical right-wing conservative, then there's no reason to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there was in the 90s, when you were on the left, you favored the legalization of marijuana and marriage equality. But some people just got stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to move on and then challenge their ideas about gender norms with trans issues or look at intersectionality when it came out in the 1990s.
But even Carl doesn't support those things, really. Like, he can say he does, but when you support exclusively candidates who oppose those things, then you can't really say that you support those things.
That's awesome point.
You're paying lip service to it.
This is my Dave Rubin argument. This is exactly my argument, Dave Rubin. You can say you're liberal and you support gay marriage and all this stuff how you want to, but you actually have people on there constantly who advocate for the exact opposite, and those are the people you support. So your actions prove what you really believe, not your words.
Yeah, he literally had Molyneux on there ranting about fucking race and IQ and didn't pull him up at all. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is ridiculous.
Ben Shapiro on there said, I won't bake you a cake. Oh, that's fine. That's not bigoted at all.
Yeah, I'm glad you disrespect me, Ben. Thanks, mate.
We're still friends. Love you, dude.
But I was thinking more, I guess, of TJ and the skeptic movement when I first started, coming onto YouTube and seeing who was saying what about religious critiques. And, and even Greg was, I think, perceived as being, Armored Skeptic was perceived as being kind of lefty.
Oh,
before
it's
the
Greg
whole
now, is it? Oh, we know him on first name terms.
It's just weird to call a real person
Greg.
Skeptic.
The Skepdashians.
Anyway, yeah. So you tell me about Greggy Poos. What's he up to?
Well, I was
being a big old bowl of vanilla ice cream. That's what he's doing as usual.
Yeah,
tasty.
I don't like vanilla ice cream. Sorry, it's too plain.
Well, I don't mind vanilla genocide. It's all good.
We're back to that.
Delicious vanilla genocide. 2 scoops.
All right, so a bit more Candace. This is her reaction. Did you want to see this too? Her Periscope response?
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Oh, all right.
1,000 views. Holy shit.
Yeah. No, the grift is fucking powerful.
No, it's depressing.
All right, here we go.
I just turned on my phone on my Twitter for the first time today, and I had all of these notifications from journalists being like, Candace Owens launches a defense for Hitler's form of nationalism. Some of the most crazy, and this is it's actually so insane, it's so ridiculous that it could only come from BuzzFeed, which is obviously scum of the earth.
No. Well, I mean, firstly, you work for Turning Point USA. And secondly, that is literally true. And of course, it wasn't just BuzzFeed. Everyone was like, actually, that's the defense of Hitler. Yeah.
But just point out BuzzFeed. All the anti-Israel hate BuzzFeed anyway, so that's red meat. Throw it out there, and then you look less guilty.
Yeah, they quoted her accurately. That's what they did.
I dare you to quote me.
Yeah, but in the age of Trump, that's heresy. You can't directly quote someone and then actually extrapolate from that
you're taking me out of context.
Exactly, yeah. Unless you quote the entire 3-hour Peterson lecture.
Exactly.
That's out of context.
I have never watched every single video and every tweet that Candace has put out, so I can't judge her. So
yeah, but this one 10-second clip of Anita Sarkeesian from 12 years ago, that's exactly what she's always believed.
Put it on a loop.
Do a video about her again, like it's the fucking 5 years ago. Sorry.
All right, back to Candace.
Publication. But just to clarify this, because I had about 50 emails from journalists reaching out asking for clarity. I was at an event in the UK and a question was asked, not about Hitler, but about the difference between...
Yeah, exactly. You
about
brought him up.
It's the point, bitch.
Yeah, you didn't fucking have to mention Hitler. You could have gone with, you didn't have to give any example. You could have just said, no, I don't have a problem with nationalism. Nationalism means something else, whatever. You didn't have to bring up Hitler. You brought him up. And by the way, is it just me? Is it the lighting in that room, or does she look like she constantly needs to sneeze?
Sneeze face, resting sneeze.
Yeah, it's there. It's caught at the top of the nose. Oh, that's irritating, isn't it?
We did keep talking about Trump's cat butt mouth in an earlier show.
Yeah, well, he does. He has when he puckers his lips, it looks like a cat's anus. It's just true.
Wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Nailed it.
Okay, so back to Candace.
Also, why is she wearing a carpet?
It is a very interesting.
Cover up the hickeys.
Yeah.
My boyfriend got hickeys all over the place.
Well, Charlie Kirk and his tiny little face leave really nasty hickeys.
Tiny hickeys.
Yeah.
Cat butt hickeys.
Versus nationalism. I think the person asked, how can we as people that, believe in the sovereignty of our nations avoid being called nationalists? And I
think it was more, I think the question was closer to about the future of nationalism. So I didn't hear the question wording, but the summary in the video I saw was not what she just said.
And not just that, but these people need to decide, what are they? Are they libertarians or are they nationalists? Because those are two different things. With what's her face, Caitlin Bennett, the machine gun
girl.
Yeah, she was going through an airport through TSA with her MAGA hat on, right, saying, "Oh well, I'm glad they're not getting paid because that's taxation is theft." But you're literally there with a hat of the President of the United States of America, who, if that's true, if taxation is theft, he's the greatest thief in the world right now. He's stealing billions of dollars every fucking month from the American people. Or you're talking shit, Caitlin. One of
Don't
the
think
two.
about that. Shh, don't think about that.
Yeah. Like, it's just, oh, what are you? You're a libertarian or you're a nationalist. You can't be.
She's probably neither. She's an opportunist who realizes that if she posts pictures of herself with guns, that conservatives will think, ooh, she's triggering the liberals, even though liberals don't give a fuck. We just roll our eyes at her and move on, but they're like, ooh, triggered them. I mean, that's literally their entire platform is just about being pieces of shit.
Well, talking of triggering, my favorite ever was when the NRA sent out the thing about what would have been Jesus' favorite gun, and someone put underneath a nail gun.
It's true. Nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, they blocked him, which was hard.
And not to get off the point, but speaking of being triggered, I was looking at Joe Rogan a while ago, bitching about the Boy Scouts inviting girls to join. He's like, why are they doing this? Oh my God. Because they're going bankrupt, Joe, and they want to invite the rest of the population in so they can make money. They're a private organization, and that's what private organizations do. Isn't that what you're for?
And why does he care?
Yeah,
why would you give a fuck about that?
Because they're attacking masculinity. They're attacking men. Everything should be separate. Men and women are not equal. They're separate but equal.
Oh yeah, we're going to go back to that argument.
Well, I've always felt that women were 3/5 of a man anyway.
Yeah, that's about the estimate.
2/5. Let's not get crazy.
All right.
We can call it Dusty's 2/5 compromise.
Dusty 2/5. Let's workshop that. I don't know.
Yeah, let's put that in the maybe.
Yeah, not really sure about that, but we'll come back to it.
All right, so here we are with Candace again.
The person was sort of implying that nationalism is a dirty word, and we see that a lot in America, that nationalism is sort of conflated with, for some reason, Hitler. Like, that the only interpretation, or the only understanding of the word.
I wonder, Candace, whether its association with Hitler and it being a dirty word might be connected somehow. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. Maybe you defending Hitler.
It's a mystery. Yeah. I don't know why the two things are connected in any way.
Well, I can think of at least 6 million reasons why it might be a dirty word, Candace.
Name one. Name one reason. I dare you.
The fact that they dragged the name of Hugo Boss through the mud.
Okay, name two. Name two reasons.
They killed the Charlie Chaplin mustache.
Okay, you win. The Charlie Chaplin, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That dude was a boss.
That people seem to have in America is they instantly think of Hitler. And I think that that's really, really wrong, and that we have to...
You did. You literally went to Hitler straight away.
The first thing you thought of when somebody mentioned nationalism. Hitler. Yeah, let's talk about Hitler.
Yeah, like, she's the worst salesperson for this. Like, literally go to the worst example of the thing you're trying to sell as an example of why you should buy it. Fuck off.
She doesn't believe it. She just
it's like an airline going, sometimes airplanes crash and you die in a fiery flame ball. Yeah, fly BA. No.
Give me a ticket, please.
Yeah.
All right.
Almost correct the record on that. I don't
view, Periscope.
Nationalism or believing in the sovereignty of your nation first, like Trump employs an America First policy, Bolsonaro employs a Brazil First policy,
really
the sovereignty of your
nation. Yeah, exactly. He employs a sort of Russia First policy with a second of Trump first as well.
Yeah, his policy is definitely not beneficial to our nation. I mean, especially since he's accelerating global warming that's going to kill us all. How's that beneficial to us?
Well, as I've said before, if the entirety of humanity dies, the planet survives. So technically, the land mass that is the United States of America will continue if no people live there.
Once again, as part of Team Humanity, I vote against that. Let's do what we can to save me. The rest of you, fine, but let's save me first.
Exactly. Dusty's got a Dusty First policy. That's fair enough.
Yeah. So smart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, back to Candace.
The nation is being threatened by outside forces.
Also,
very important.
Well, no, it doesn't really look like it anymore. I was just going to point out, when she had her arm across like that, it looked like she had one tit. which was just a bit weird. Like, it's not the big issue. I'm not down to like dissing her or anything, but it just looked like she had one breast.
I kind of like the one tit look. That's my kink. So
it's nice, yeah. Well, exactly. That's the next craze, the human super boob. Just
I'm gonna start whacking off on camera like the guy you were talking about earlier.
The mono boob.
Yeah.
There you
Una
go.
boob.
That we sort of
there it is.
Stand on our own 2 feet and say that we are going to put our nation first. So I answered the question and said to them just that, which is that people wrongly conflate the word nationalism.
Also, I mean, firstly, fuck Periscope because it's shit.
Well, this might be my connection, so I'll try to close it.
Periscope always does it. It's fucking dreadful. Which is why when I have to play a Periscope video, I always download the motherfucker and just play it from my computer because it's just easier. Anyway, just a pro tip for next time.
Okay.
It's bad when you're taking tips from me. Fucking hell.
That's true.
Yeah, but in terms of nationalism, this is the bizarre thing. Selling your nationalism to some other nation means that you're essentially saying, Candace, that you're supporting policies that are going to fuck over my nation at your nation's benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why should I be cool with that?
Fuck them. I'm a Christian. You don't have to do unto others as you would want them to do unto you.
Right. Jesus is like, fuck them all.
Exactly. That's what I learned from the Bible. I was a Christian for 33 years, and that's the thing that sticks out my mind the most. Jesus said, fuck them.
Yeah. He said, yeah, it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than a poor man to go to... Oh, no, it wasn't that way around, was it?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Right.
He washed the feet of a billionaire, didn't he? I think he did. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, definitely a billionaire.
He invited the Pharisees.
He licked his boots like a good Christian.
All right, here we go.
Just that, which is that people wrongly conflate the word nationalism to mean that Hitler was a national socialist, but in my interpretation or from my understanding, I would make the argument that he wasn't a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychotic
Hang on,
maniac.
so what is he then? Hang on. If it's in the name, then he was a nationalist and a socialist, true, but look, that's you can't have it both ways. What was he, Candace?
He was just a bad guy, Kevin. Everybody knows he was a bad guy.
No,
he was just funded by George Soros.
He was just giving
the world.
He was just trying to give ice cream to the people of Eastern Europe. Really, that's a callback to a joke from earlier.
He was spreading cultural Marxism and trying to make sure there was more than two genders.
That was
Which is ironic because cultural Marxism or cultural Bolshevism was actually a Nazi concept. They literally invented that shit. So
yeah, nothing new under the sun. All right, so let's see what she has to say now.
Who was bent on world domination outside of the confines of Germany, and he wouldn't say that he was a nationalist because he wasn't about putting Germans first. There were German Jews that he was putting into camps and murdering. He was a mass
you're so stupid. You stupid fucking cunt. What are you talking about? Oh.
Doesn't know about the Aryans.
Oh, my brain feels like it's been stabbed. Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh.
But she's kind of cute, so.
Yeah, but I still despise. That's such a dense thing to say.
You're too busy listening to the words out of her mouth, dude. That's your problem.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't. Well, what you need to do is distract me with Uniboob, and she's failing to do so at the moment. I mean, I
am totally distracted by it.
Yeah.
I've never been so turned on.
I'm just gonna. I feel like I have to address it, even though it shouldn't be. Right. He wasn't a civic nationalist. Obviously, he was an ethno-nationalist. He did not consider the Jewish people to be German, even though they were born in Germany or whatever. Okay, Candace, that's the distinction here. You can't get away from the fact that ethno-nationalism is a form of nationalism. That's why I go, even though you might not believe in a nice, fluffier version of nationalism, it doesn't get you away from the fact that nationalism is a dirty word because it's a dirty thing.
But what's wrong with ethno-nationalism? You know, the Jews have their own homeland. Japan has their own homeland. Why can't white people have our own homeland?
Well, exactly. I mean, for a start off, white isn't an ethnicity per se, skin color. Israel is a genocidal state. Again, not surprising for a nationalist state, and isn't an ethno state, given that a third of the population are Arab. And the insular nature of Japan means that its birth rates are going through the floor, and its economy likewise.
I think
I think if we ask the black folks nicely, they'll just move, and then
Well, as
violence has to happen.
As Richard Spencer said, we could just give the black people Florida. He literally suggested that as a plan. Give them Florida, they can all move there, and then presumably all the white people in Florida would have to leave and go live somewhere cold.
Go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's giving them Disneyland. That's the problem with that plan. Definitely.
I'm with Richard Spencer. Peaceful ethnic cleansing. That's what we need.
Yeah, because that
exists.
Yeah, that's a real thing that's definitely happened before.
If history has taught me anything, peaceful ethnic cleansing, definitely a viable option.
Someone needs to punch that guy. Ironically, I don't mean that seriously. Obviously, I would never advocate. I would never advocate violence. I'm just saying, if
theoretically,
in a funny, comical way, yeah.
You're talking about his little peppy hand. That was the funniest part.
Yeah.
And didn't the guy come in with his elbow?
What?
When Spencer got decked.
Yeah.
Yes. Didn't want to break a knuckle or anything.
Solid smack.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what else Candace doesn't know about.
Also, wash the fucking sleep out your eyes before you get on camera, you lazy cow. What are you doing? What's wrong with you?
That is true. It's fine to do those things, but yeah, you don't really want to.
Like I've got no problem with anyone appearing on camera makeupless or whatever. That's fine. But wash your fucking face. It's just unlike the people at Fox News. I believe in the germ theory of evolution, germ theory of disease, right?
I have not washed my hands in 27 years. Okay, so
yeah, there's a lot of crusty spunk on
and I'm alive, so checkmate germs.
Exactly. Anyway, so should we watch old fucking crusty face?
Yeah, that's some crusty eyes. Yeah.
So that's what the argument that I was making on stage is that this man by no means should be considered a nationalist. Everything that he did was just being a psychopathic murderer, hell-bent on world domination.
Yeah, that's nationalism. I mean, that's almost literally the definition of what a nationalist does.
He was an evil globalist. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Which yeah, and it's interesting that you would say that he was a globalist, considering globalist is shorthand for Jew. Yeah. I mean, the levels of historical fuckery involved in her nonsense series.
It goes deep.
It's like it's compound stupidity. It's an onion of fucking idiocy. Just layer after layer of nonsense.
Well, they know that being called nationalist is, a black eye these days, and they're trying to spin it any way they can, and it's just sad and pathetic and see-through. But unfortunately, it's working. They're incredibly fucking popular. This video is seen over 600,000 times. It's really
people here for the one. People here for the uni boob.
Yeah, and the sleep in the eye.
Yeah,
the uni boob and the eye sleep. Those are my two kinks, man. She's hitting all my buttons today.
All right, let's continue.
Actually, and also, I mean, again, I don't want to attack her for the looks. I've attacked Charlie Kirk as well, so I am an equal opportunities image bastard here, right? She's also got the kind of Charlie Kirk forehead situation going on.
She has it framed nicely.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's fair. I'll give her that. But is it a prerequisite to work for TP USA that you have to have oddly proportioned faces?
A giant forehead. I can't talk though because I have like a 5 head. So.
Yeah.
All right, and with everyone staring at her forehead, let's continue.
Trump has no interest. In conquering the world. I don't think Bolsonaro has any interest in conquering the world, and these people are employing a type of nationalism that is desperately needed in times like this.
But hang on, time out. I disagree on the desperately needed part, but yeah, they are employing a form of nationalism. It's a form of nationalism that opposes democracy, it seems. They're very, very anti-democratic.
Yep.
But that's the point, not Kristi. Candace.
Candace.
Well, all you women look alike to me. I can't tell you apart. Candace, it's a form of nationalism that when you just use the broad nationalism phrase in of itself, that does encompass Hitler. So if you want to define yourself as a civic nationalist or some sort of, I don't know, whatever other type of nationalist you might want to be, then that's fine. But if you just say nationalist, then you're going to get lumped in with Hitler, especially when that's your go-to example.
If it was real nationalism, it wouldn't have to have the word civic in front of it. Just like if you're a real woman, you wouldn't have to have trans woman in front of your name.
It's true. That is correct.
Nice.
That's like a Carl Benjamin argument. Sorry. He literally said that. I don't know if you guys saw that on his Twitter, but he was literally saying, if trans women are real women, how come they have the word trans in front of their name? And people are like, oh, God, you dipshit. If black women are real women, how come they have black in front of their description?
Well,
if tall women are real women, how come they have tall in front of their description? You know,
how if Carl's a man, how come he has British in front of man? That's
checkmate, girl.
Checkmate.
Yep.
Does he think about things? But clearly he doesn't. He doesn't sort of type something out and think, what could somebody say in response to this?
His only thought in his head is, does this trigger the libs? Or will my audience think this will trigger the libs? And that's it. That's literally, he says he supports Trump because it triggers the libs. That's the only reasoning he has for it, which is like a child. It's like, it's below a child. Even a child is not that fucking stupid.
Yeah, true. All right, so let's get back to other...
Which reminds me of something else I wanted to talk about. We can talk about it later, but the whole fisty splinters thing, talking about the level of children, like, I can't even, like, even when I was in junior high school, that kind of joke would be beneath me. It would be like, oh my God, that is so cringy and stupid.
Yeah.
But was that Bearing that did that, or was
Bearing, that? Yeah. That's peak comedy for that crowd. Yeah.
Like, who in the world could look at that and say, oh my God, this is funny, or this is something I want to be a part of?
Shut up, musty shit. Yeah, Abbott. Boom.
Yeah.
The dolt of Krusty. That's what the Amazing Atheist called me. The dolt of Krusty.
Well, I actually think Kevin's favorite was when V hurled mutton chops.
Yeah, mutton chops.
He doesn't have mutton chops.
Devastating. You never go back from that one.
You
cried. Don't lie, you cried.
I will never recover. Never.
It wasn't quite as good as Kevin's insult of V, though.
Milk-fed gimp.
Milk-fed gimp.
I mean, because that actually insinuates that you're engaged in some sort of silly activity, rather than it just being a play on your name or something. I could have called him. Yeah, I could. Yeah, soy milk-fed gimp. Absolutely.
Even worse.
Oh yeah, you missed it. You missed a beat there. Yeah.
That's how you trigger them.
All right, back to Candace.
People that are trying to globalize our economy, and we're seeing
now again, time the fuck out, because globalizing is different than globalism. That's globalization. That's a different thing. Actually enforced by many of the same people who fund your organization. You fucking moron.
Yep.
Just saying. It's literally the people who pay your wages, Candace, that is, actually doing.
Turning point UK.
Yeah. Right. That globalization. They should just stay in America where their culture is.
Yeah,
that's their culture.
So much for nationalism.
Yeah.
Has been hurt by it, and other nations have been hurt by it, and that was the way that I answered the question. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's BuzzFeed. I shouldn't even be doing this video. It's so stupid. But obviously, leftist journalists who are crazy are like, oh, she's saying that.
Not just leftists. There were a lot of right-wing people going, whoa, Candace, this is fucked up.
No. Got to take a step back from you there, Candace.
Right.
Even nationalists were like, don't compare us to Hitler, you stupid fuck. What's wrong with you? You're the worst PR person ever.
Yeah, we're on your side, Candace. Shh, don't you know that?
It's a great launch.
And I genuinely saw, this is how racist some of them people are. They're like, I knew we shouldn't have allowed black people in.
Oh, her own side.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love it when they continuously tell us that the Nazis are liberals, and I'm like, well, then how come all the American Nazis are Republicans? Like, none of them are fucking liberals. Literally, none of these white supremacists are fucking liberals. What are you talking about?
I love Stephen Crowder's description of Hitler as a liberal socialist. What the fuck is a liberal socialist exactly? Those are two different things. Sure, I mean, that's like it's a pelican elephant. What?
Yeah.
Jumbo shrimp.
Jumbo shrimp, yeah. All right, we're going to see if we can get through the end of this. I doubt it, though.
Great if he had just focused on Germany. No, I'm saying Hitler wasn't a nationalist, and if Hitler only.
Why didn't you say that then? Why didn't you just say Hitler wasn't a nationalist? Why did you say it'd be fine if he did this thing that he totally didn't do? Why did you start giving historically fucking illiterate bullshit answers?
Because it's Candace Owens. That's all she got.
Yeah.
Take a page out of Roger Stone, right? Like admit no wrong and deny everything, So instead of admitting she was wrong, she just is pissing on BuzzFeed.
Well, hopefully she'll get a page out of his indictments too.
Right.
this country and say, oh, we're making, Germany great again, and he wasn't a homicidal maniac, that we'd be in an entirely different position today, but he was, and there's no excuse or defense ever.
Well, what I will say, where his type of nationalism, this is literally where I'm going to say, this is where I have to hand it to Hitler. His version of nationalism actually helped Germany's infrastructure, at least initially. I mean, technically the bombings and stuff afterwards fucked it up, but he did actually build the autobahns, some of them anyway. Whereas Trump can't get a national infrastructure plan through, so his version of nationalism is worse.
Trump worse than Hitler. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he's only killed like a small handful of Guatemalan children rather than 6 million Jewish people. But that's because he can't get away with it.
Pretty close.
Policy by policy.
I mean, it's just as racist. It's just slightly less genocidally so.
He's stopped more. There are more legal barriers to Trump doing what he wants to do.
And there are fewer barriers at the border. Boom.
Mm.
Yeah. Until he starts declaring national emergencies and becoming a dictator.
Well, did you see today? He tweeted out the nation's doing really well. You think you're not selling the whole national emergency thing?
It's like in one breath, it's like there's never been fewer illegals coming across the border thanks to me. And there's a national emergency. What? No, wait.
Yeah.
You're saying two different things here, dude.
I love the idea that the people, whoever the defense or whatever, or the prosecution in the court cases that will inevitably happen if he does try and declare a national emergency, literally just show the tweet of him saying the nation's doing really well.
Yes.
I mean, do I need to make any closing arguments, or do I just drop the mic now?
I think the best way to think about Trump's brain is to imagine it being like the dog in the Pixar film Up, but after every sentence he does squirrel. Yeah. He says something and then it's squirrel and then he just says something else. And that's how he holds those contradictory thoughts in his mind.
I think the best way to think about Trump's brain is it's exactly the same size as his cock in his hands. So that's
massive. Massive you're talking about.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's a massive, huge, beautiful penis.
Bigly. It's
Gold.
bigly.
It's gold.
I can't believe you elected a person who uses the word bigly, America. What the fuck is wrong with you? Bigly.
I take responsibility for it. I personally elected him.
Is he 6 years old? What bigly? For fuck's sake.
It will be better.
Hamburgers and kafifi. Fuck off. Oh,
that was a feast.
Mm.
I envy those who got to experience that.
Yeah. It was Clemson, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, considering the amount of steroids going around their body anyway, the chemicals probably weren't a problem for them, to be honest.
But he paid for it himself, so.
Yeah, that's why it was cheap as shit.
Quite the big spender, that dude.
Mm.
Oh, he's awful. Just awful. Let me show you how cheap I am. Teenage boys, they'll like this. Or young men, they'll.
Well, exactly, yeah. The McWhite House, yeah.
I love the taco show on Taco Wednesday here at Trump Tower. Remember his Cinco de Mayo celebration?
Yeah. Oh,
so presidential.
Because he's not racist. He's just the only thing that Mexico does is tacos and drugs and rapists.
Yeah, so he's enjoying the tacos.
But I assume some of the tacos are good.
Yes.
They're not sending their best tacos.
No, that's true.
No, if you've been to Taco Bell, you know.
We love Taco Bell.
I love Taco Bell.
Wasn't it Taco Bell where their beef was technically decided? It was decided that legally they weren't allowed to describe it as food.
No, I don't remember that. I remember Pringles making the argument that they weren't food.
No, because it contained so little actual beef that they temporarily they had to change their recipe because it was decided.
What is it?
I don't know, just a conglomeration of bollocks, basically.
It's delicious, whatever it is. It's fine.
It's leather boots and a raccoon ass, I think, mostly. No, it's delicious. I agree. Taco Bell is filthy, but it's delicious. But it's not like good tacos.
Filthy but delicious.
Yes.
That's my bio on Grindr.
It's not healthy.
No. You're like, oh, look, it has lettuce on it. And then you just put all kinds of sour cream on it.
It's basically a salad, to be honest with you.
With a lot of grease.
Well, I always used to describe roll-up cigarettes. They're so weak. They're basically one of my 5 a day. It's fine.
All right, let's see if we can finish off with the Candace bit here.
For everything that he did. I mean, obviously, we've learned the lesson of what happened in Europe with National Socialism, and it's something.
Have we? Because you're selling very much the same fucking bill of goods. I don't think we have learned shit. You're
Concur.
the kind of people who are supporting people like the AFD and the fucking Jobbik party in not Romania, in fucking Bulgaria. No, Hungary. Hungary! There we go. Back to Taco Bell.
Like anyone else is going to challenge you on the geography. We're both Americans.
No, well, I know, but there are people who live in those actual
true.
countries, and I don't wish to offend them. I want to make sure that their own specific fascist government is mentioned by name. I want to make sure they know that.
Okay.
I don't want to disrespect their fascist heritage.
Yeah, don't leave them out.
Yeah. So
everybody's included.
TPUSA are pushing the same kind of shit. They're the ones, going on about Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro, if he can get away with it, which he seems to be consolidating his power, has said before that he wants to unleash bloodshed in Brazil. He's literally praised during his campaign the military junta that ruled in the 1980s, which killed tens of thousands. Right? This we haven't learned our fucking lesson or more specifically, you, Candace, have not learned your fucking lesson.
Hey, but at least he's not a socialist, so
right, that's the word.
That's true, yeah. He will undoubtedly privatize much of their oil supply, and America will profit and Brazil won't. So, yeah. Yay.
I'm all for that. Hell
globalism.
Yeah. America. USA. Sorry.
Wait, that's globalism, isn't it?
Not if it helps our nation. That's nationalism.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Right. I mix those up sometimes.
Or come to America, like Trump said. So, thank you. I just wanted to clear that up because
no, thank you.
It's crazy. Leftist
this is
journalists are
entertaining.
crazy, and they're trying to make it.
Also, Kristi, do you have your trending set to America? Because there's no way Antonio Brown is trending fourth in Germany. Not a chance.
Probably, I'm sure it is set. Yes, United States trends. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's the end. There's her saying goodbye. Do we want to finish it off?
People in Germany are really interested in Das Steelers, I'm sure.
Yes. Los Lakers and El Heat. Sorry, I watched a comedian on Netflix who made some good jokes. Anyway, let's just wrap this up.
I said something that I would never say, and they're obviously extracting the question.
She said something she'd never say, except they quoted her saying it.
Yeah. I would never say that thing I said.
It's like the Bible. It doesn't mean what it actually says. It means what our interpretation of it.
Right. Yes, that's it. Why are you reading the words? Listen to what I say the words mean.
Exactly. Thou shalt not kill, except if they're little brown kids or something. You can bomb the shit out of them. Who cares? You got to read between the lines. That's the thing.
Yes, it says you can beat your slaves, but that was actually beneficial for the slaves back then.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Question that was asked, which had absolutely nothing to do with Hitler. I stand by.
So why did you mention Hitler then?
What is that?
Why did you bring him up?
Because for some reason, that's the first thing that comes to mind. I don't know why, but
if the question had nothing to do with Hitler. Okay, Candace, this is the thing. If it had nothing to do with Hitler, why are we talking about Hitler? Who brought Hitler into this conversation?
What is your favorite color? Well, Hitler.
Yes. So, last night I had for dinner, I had some cheese on toast, but Hitler, he didn't like cheese on toast. No, it was terrible. Actually, he was a vegetarian. He might have loved cheese on toast. I don't know.
Fucking vegans. You know who else was a vegan? Hitler.
Right. Gandhi as well.
Gandhi slept with children. So, vegans. Explain that.
I hadn't heard that argument
before. Gandhi slept with children. That's true. True story.
No, I didn't know that.
He didn't have sex with them. He slept with them though to test himself, according to him.
Yeah, but unless you're a paedophile, how is that a test?
Yeah.
I never slept with no children. Can't answer that question.
Fair enough.
Like when people ask me what happens when you die. I never died. I don't know.
Right.
I guess.
So the next story I've got up, if you guys want to move to something, well, we have our choices. We can talk about Trump's failed shutdown negotiations for a little bit if you want.
Epic victory for Trump. He's making America great again, building his beautiful wall today. He destroyed Nancy Pelosi and those Democrats. So,
well, did you notice that his thing it was El Paso, Texas? They actually had signs that they didn't say build the wall anymore. They said finish the wall.
Finish the wall.
Literally, it's just fantasy land. It doesn't matter what's true or not. Just finish it. And then you watch next week, they'll have signs saying, I'm glad we finished the wall.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone just leaned out of their window, yodeled, and went back in their house.
Where do you live?
It's Germany.
Germany and Cologne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live in Germany? Okay, cool. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you American? Are you from America?
Yeah. I'm from Wisconsin.
Okay. Why do you
Well,
live in
no,
Germany?
well, you're basically
My
Canadian.
work is here. My job is here.
You're basically Canadian. You're not real American.
Well, I've been in Europe long enough to have, I don't really fit in comfortably to a lot of American culture. Well, politics.
You are not nearly racist enough anymore.
No. And
Tell you
I'm
what.
very for public services and a basic quality of life.
Communist. Fucking communist.
And I know your audience probably already knows this, but what do you do exactly?
I work for a Leibniz Institute, and I've recently changed
White
teams.
genocide. She does white genocide.
Right now, I'm overseeing the
Germany.
I'm overseeing the genocide of inside of data archives in a consortium of social science data archives across Europe. It's hard to explain my job. Part of it is developing technologies or overseeing the development of some digital infrastructures to help with data harmonization in large cross-channel. See, this is why I don't describe what my job is.
Kristi, this isn't boring at all.
Makes perfect sense.
Do really fucking nerdy things for data archives in Europe.
So you're one of the evil people that Jordan Peterson is warning us against, basically.
Oh, definitely. I'm one of those feminists that wear red lipstick. And
Yeah, she has a.
Don't do that shit around me. That's all I'm saying. I can't control myself if you do that because you're.
Yeah, she has a very fruity face.
Yes, fruit face theory that women put on makeup to make their faces look like
fruit.
He said that.
It's symbolizing the orgasm. Your lips get all red when you orgasm, and you're trying to symbol to me that you want to have an orgasm, and I'm picking down what you're putting up.
Well, Jordan Peterson went even more basic than that. He's like, our eyes have color so we can see fruit, and so our faces have color like fruit. Yeah, that was more the line of thinking than heels or anything that sophisticated. No, he was way back to like, we see color because our ancestors were fruit eaters.
The cool kid's intellectual.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I like a woman whose face looks like a kiwi. Definitely.
Very fruity face.
Another one of my turn-ons.
Well, what's amazing is getting back to the Trump shutdown, the whole talks, is when he was talking.
So we're moving from fruit to a nut.
Yeah.
Come on now.
At least he's not busting one. All right. He started off when they were talking about DACA with like $25 billion. And then he wanted 5.2 instead of the continuing resolution. And what they're going to pass right now has less money than would have been in the continuing resolution.
I'm tired of all this winning. Too much winning for me.
He's negotiated himself down to the least amount ever.
You don't understand the art of the deal. Okay?
Clearly not.
I'm tired of having to explain this to you liberals.
It's so brilliant. He literally turned down 25 billion 18 months ago, and he's going to have done literally. I mean, I was joking about that one, just allowing him to build a one-layered brick Lego wall all the way along across the border, standing half an inch tall. I don't think he's even going to get enough money to do that. Literally now.
You're supposed to make outrageous demands first so that then they'll come back and counter with what you really wanted. See? And what he really wanted was less than they offered him to begin with. That's just the genius businessman we're dealing with here.
He's literally he's negotiated himself down.
This dude bankrupted a fucking casino. I mean,
Now we know how.
Yeah, a casino whose entire business model is taking people's money. And he lost money.
How do you fuck that up, dude?
Yeah.
Because he's a moron. Yeah. So that was Trump's. Yeah, as you say, so much winning.
So do we know exactly how much he's getting now?
I'll scroll down. Let's see. The deal as laid out does include some border fencing. 1.375 billion's worth, or 55 miles.
That's ridiculous.
That's well shy of the 5.7 billion and 200 miles in wall funding he demanded that led to the shutdown. But
that's even 200 miles is nothing. He said he was going to build it across the whole thing, which is like 1,800 miles or something.
Oh, it just got 10 feet higher. Big beautiful wall.
Well, that's the thing. Even if he shrinks it in half now, he's still only going to get 110 miles worth.
Yeah.
Which is about a tenth of the distance. Look, this is embarrassing. What the fuck is wrong with this?
And I guess we're now officially in Mexico since we're now officially paying for it. So
yeah, that's the other part. Yeah, it says here too, but the bigger issue is this. The amount of funding is actually shy of the original deal Republicans and Democrats reached last year that Trump rejected. At that time, the spending bill for the Department of Homeland Security included $1.6 billion for 65 miles of fencing, both slightly more than the current tentative deal.
Oh God, he's so shit.
I love him. He's so good. My president. Don't fuck with my president.
Or he'll hit himself in the face.
Exactly.
See that crazy Trump supporter attack that reporter?
Yeah, BBC guy got pushed at the thing, didn't they? Yeah. Fucked up. But that's the thing. You'd think after the whole, it was a Trump supporting terrorist trying to blow the fuck out of CNN and stuff, you think, tone it down a little bit. Nope.
This is the guy literally during the campaign was like, go ahead and punch these people who are coming in and protesting. I'll pay your lawyer bills.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you expect's going to happen? You're literally telling your followers to go out and commit violence, dude.
Yep.
And of course, some of the people at Charlottesville were very fine people. Very fine. On both sides.
Both sides.
And he still has some, somewhere in the low 40s in terms of support, even after all this.
Yeah, and fuck all of those people.
The thing is, it doesn't matter what he does. Like, he literally said, I could go out and shoot somebody and they would still vote for me. And I was telling my aunt, who was a Trump supporter, that he said that. And she was like, no, Hillary said that. And I was like, what? And she was like, no, Hillary's the one that said that. He was just quoting Hillary. And I was like, oh. And so I literally had to play for her the clip. And she was like, well, who are you playing? Because I don't trust the media. And I was like, I'm going to play Donald Trump for you so you can see it out of his own goddamn mouth. And I played it for her. And she's like, oh, okay. And she didn't have anything to say. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. I don't have like Disney CGI going on here. This is him fucking saying it.
She literally told me, I like him because he's honest. He's one of the most honest presidents we've ever. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's literally told over 3,000 lies since he's been in office. He's one of the most prolific liars we've ever had. He may have told more lies than all of the presidents fucking combined. But it just doesn't matter to these people.
And not just that, but even before he was president, he broke all of the vows he made to all of his wives.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I won't commit adultery on it.
God uses broken people. You don't understand. God forgives, and He uses broken people, and He's chosen Donald Trump.
Yeah, there are a few more broken people than Donald Trump, to be fair.
Well, there was a pastor who defended Trump by saying, well, King David did a lot of bad things, but he was an instrument of God too.
Yeah.
And it was A.M. Joy, and she was just like, what?
Do you remember when Barack Obama wore a tan suit?
And that was controversial.
Yeah. He had French mustard on a hot dog. The man was a monster.
It was an ugly tan suit. Come on now. Don't defend that suit to me.
You didn't like a tan suit?
True. But
Do you prefer a light gray?
I like black personally, but I always bet on black.
Well, it turns out the people who were criticizing Barack Obama, they didn't like black.
No,
that's a different thing.
They did not want to bet on black, definitely.
After the Second World War and psychology started to gear up, one of the questions you guys
are we back to Hitler again? Fucking hell.
Well, it's about when they did the experiments with the electrical shock. The question they were trying to investigate was, why were the German people so susceptible to authority? And the study showed it's just people. So I think I've forgotten that. There's 40% of our population that are really dangerous with the vote. Yeah. And since we believe in democracy, we have to outvote them. We have to show up at the polls.
Or back to my original plan.
And have good laws.
If we kill everyone, not a problem.
He's going farther than Thanos.
Well, once again, for Team Human, let's vote. The problem is, like me, I live in Mississippi, so my vote doesn't actually count because of the Electoral College, which is ridiculous, a ridiculous, shitty slave era system that was set up clearly to help the slave states. So it's really frustrating to me because, like, what's the fucking point?
Well, but maybe in local races or something, it still makes a difference. It helps everywhere.
Yeah, I guess local races, but like the senator we just elected, the first female senator in Mississippi, she's the same woman that came out and was making a joke about how she would be in the front row of a public hanging when she was running against a black man. Like, what the fuck? And she won. So, like, it's just, I feel like helpless. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here?
I think our mission should be to make people like you in Mississippi feel like your votes count, because you're definitely in like the least effective state for a Democrat to be voting in. I think even Texas is more purple.
Yeah, well, luckily, you can vote multiple times. I don't know if you're aware of this, but you like can go from polling place to polling place and just vote as many times as you want to. So
Yeah, as a Democrat, they do that all the time, right? We
yeah,
do that all the time, apparently.
that's what I did. I voted like 6 or 7 times this past election.
What did you say? I missed it on the first stream. Did you know the H Bomber charity stream thing that they had AOC on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I missed it because I actually saw the thing live, but I missed the first joke he did. Was when she came on and he said, "Hello, you won't believe how many times I corruptly voted for you." to Andrew Ocasio-Cortez, which thankfully she just moved past. She didn't respond.
He's not in America though, so right?
Right. It was
Okay.
Exactly. So technically, all of his votes were corrupt. Absolutely. Yeah.
He probably voted by mail then, I guess.
Yeah, those postal ballots, those evil vote by ballot or by post.
All the illegal immigrants, they're all voting in mass.
I think given that we're in a rather
at least they're going to mass. Now go on.
At least we're in a cheer. So I think we'll skip the Southern Baptist story. And Kevin, I've got your story queued up here that you asked. So
well,
why
we should
don't
just read. Let's not skip it. Let's just say Southern Baptists, rapist motherfuckers.
They're raping
Massive
everybody.
culture.
They're giving the Catholics a run for the money.
Yeah, we're basically, I mean, it's another, I think it's pretty easy to now look at these institutions and apply the rape culture model that I unpacked from the Pennsylvania case. And it's not just about individual actions, it's about the systematic suppression of information and letting people get away with it. So sorry, you guys, Dustin.
Yeah, before we begin, Kristi, I just wanted to say, I'm not really sure if you're aware of this, but mansplaining is where you explain something to a woman that she already knows, like she's an idiot. So,
well, thank you, Kristi.
Be aware of that.
Yeah, thank you for that, Dusty, because Kristi needs things explained. Don't you, Kristi? Kristi,
what?
Kristi, are you listening?
I fell asleep.
You think about shoes and
Kristi?
So, yeah.
Anyway, having done a joke introduction to mansplaining,
yes, exactly.
This is like compound meta mansplaining. This is the most amazing example you will ever see.
I actually read this. This is terrific.
Yeah. Krista?
Yeah. Do you? I'm supposed to read it too.
Yeah, look on your screen. Look on your screen.
I am locked. I am locked on my screen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're not because it keeps flashing up with Dusty
or
me when we're talking.
It does to you, but it doesn't to the audience. If you look at
the that's just fuck the audience. Anyway.
You'll have to lock it on my screen yourself or something, maybe from your side, and maybe then it'll work for you.
Well, I did. I just did. So okay. I just did.
Boom. Me too. I'm on board.
All right. Do this. Yeah. So, did you guys want me to read this, or were you going to read it, Kevin?
Yeah. Oh well, no. I just you can read all the tweets, but I'll just explain. This woman who's like a gynecologist wrote a thing in newspaper. And she got an interesting piece of correspondence on Twitter from a man who definitely knows what he's talking about, honest.
So her tweet reads, "Me and my vulva, 100 women reveal all." And then
an article in the Communist Guardian.
Right.
She clearly meant her vagina, okay?
Yeah, Kevin, do you want to read Paul Bullen's
I'll write Paul Bullen. Well, actually, the correct word is vagina.
Dusty, do you want to do Mitch?
Hi, Paul. No, it's not. But thanks for mansplaining on something you obvs know nothing about.
Paul.
That's it. Hang on, I'm doing Paul, aren't I?
Yeah, Paul.
Do you want to do Paul?
No, you're doing Paul.
Oh, okay. Fuck's sake. Right. That's an incorrect use of the word mansplaining. Smiley face.
He's mansplaining. I love it.
Genius. Like I say, it's meta mansplaining. It's amazing. Not that I want to legitimize the term, but by its own definition, it requires more than just having a man, brilliantly worded here, who is explaining something, even if it. Stop scrolling down.
Sorry.
It's difficult to read what line is because there's no underlining, but when you're moving the fucking screen, it's just madness. Anyway, women, Jesus Christ. Anyway. Even if some in the audience are WOMs. Right.
So Doctor, name who's, I guess.
No, you're going to definitely read this one out.
Kahamanini Dahola.
She's from India now. It's genius.
I thought she was Welsh. Welsh sounds crazy.
No, that's like a kind of Irish
all right.
Gaelic name.
Okay, Gaelic. Sorry.
Yeah.
Men mansplaining what mansplaining is and is not is honestly one of my favorite things on the internet. And then
Yeah,
Kate
that
says,
is pretty epic.
yeah. Imagine
arguing to a woman. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Imagine arguing to a woman what her own body parts are called. For fuck's sake!
I am supporting widespread female usage, as in the vagina monologues. I'm defining how actually people speak.
It gets even better because the shit he says later is he's trying so hard to sound intelligent. I guarantee you this guy's a fan of Jordan Peterson. No doubt about it. He's trying so hard to sound intelligent. It's just so cringe.
I'd love to find out that this was actually just a Peterson soccer account. That'd be amazing. Sounds exactly like some shit he would say.
It does. It sounds like fucking exactly like.
Hang on. Whoa, you're skipping.
Well, there's a lot of crosstalk here that's not related. I don't think we can do all of these.
Yeah,
why not?
Take forever.
The stuff at the bottom where he really gets going is just epic.
Yeah, that's what I was skipping down to.
Okay. Sure. Well, just where are we going to then?
All right. So right here, where someone gets out of a Venn diagram.
Yeah, has to explain to it with diagrams exactly. Dude's never seen a vagina up close, so has no clue what the difference between a vulva and a vagina is. I googled it earlier, so I do know.
I'll be honest. I'd never known it was called the vestibule. I thought that was just like a church thing.
The vestibule.
Yeah, that word. Also was not a term I'd have heard of in biology class.
But anyway, as you're the WOMs, you have to do Jennifer Gunter's bit.
I will. Hi, I'm a gynecologist and an international expert on both the vagina and the vulva. These are vulva. I wrote this post with a handy Venn diagram to help people separate the two. Enjoy, smiley face.
Then he really gets going. 1-1. He's like, let's do this shit.
Hold on. Let me blow this up a little bit. Let me make it a bit bigger. That's what she said. Okay.
All these women are coming against me. I'm going to show you women's.
Right. 1 of 1. Right, which is not how that works, is it? It's supposed to be 1 of 2.
This guy doesn't even know what a vulva is. So.
He's got a 3 as well, so it should be 1 of 3. Right. Anyway, Paul, thank you. You can't count or know anything about the female reproductive organs. Anyway, 1 of 1. The question does not require that sort of expertise. In fact, it could be part of the problem. I'm speaking about ordinary language, not technical terms. What am I saying? What I am saying has a descriptive component and a normative one. The descriptive one you are acknowledging by saying ...
God.
2 of 2. People ... referring to everything in the lower reproductive tract as vagina. I am making the empirical claim that in addition to the use of the word vagina to refer to part of the body mentioned in the dictionary definition, the word is widely used to mean something 3 just on its own, independent of anything apparently.
It doesn't need a 3 or 3.
Yeah, used so broader. So that if you just see 3 on its own, it just starts with the word broader, unconnected to anything. And that meaning is even broader than the word vulva. The normative component has to do with the attitude towards the usage facts. This is such word salad bullshit. Right. If they are facts, in brackets for no reason, my position is that the standard usage is fine and should not be changed. One could agree with me. You need to scroll. And then this one doesn't even have a number. This one's just on its own. Experts are helpful. Yes.
Got 4.
No, he's got 4. He's got 4. There's a 4 and there's a 5 too.
Oh, sorry. Oh, right. So yeah, there's a 4, but then 5 doesn't have a number. Right. 4. Descriptively, as you seem to, but disagree with me on the normative question. It is natural that an expert would prefer the technical terms over common usage. To summarize, many words have both a strict meaning and broader meaning. Species and genus. Vagina is like that. Experts are helpful, yes, but they must be used with care. A bit like vaginas, really, if you think about it.
What a pedantic fuck.
Anyway, your diagram is great. I had a similar disagreement with you about the word fetus. It is standard usage for pregnant women to speak of her baby, not her fetus, and there's nothing incorrect about that.
So what he's saying is, I'm using the unsophisticated term where I don't actually know what I'm talking about, and that's
I'm using the obviously incorrect, the factually incorrect version. So
you, a doctor?
Yes,
yeah,
you're just a gynecologist. What do you know?
Exactly.
I just love how he got flamed by all these women though, and he keeps going like he's gonna win. No, dude, just quit digging. Just
When
Delete your account.
when a vagina doctor steps into the ring, you're done. Just stop. Anyway, he says, I don't consider it dumbing down. I consider the recent attempt to replace vagina. You don't want to replace vagina. That's silly.
God, no.
Right? With vulva as an affectation. You should talk about fucking affectation, you cuck.
Oh my gosh.
Right. You are begging the question inasmuch as if I thought it were a dumbing down and I wouldn't be supporting it. I'm taking issue with that sort of position. He's such a talk about affectation. Your entire thing is word salad bollocks. Fuck's sake.
I love this guy. He's amazing. Thank you for existing.
Anyway, are we looking at some of the WOMs ripping him apart?
Oh, we can if you want. I can lock back on my screen. Let's see. Oh, there's another great one here. If you want to read.
Oh, I'm reading him again. Fucking hell. I didn't realise it was such a big acting part, this one. Right. I am making a factual claim about how most people do in fact refer to their genitalia. I am defending their use. I am taking issue with those who are telling them that they should not do so, and I am responding politely to those who fail to understand what I am saying.
He's not doing any of that, though. He's
No,
literally telling a woman who's using the correct word that she's not using the correct word correctly. You're the fucking moron. Just shut the fuck up, dude. Quit while you're behind. You're way fucking behind. Just quit. Stop. Cease.
Yeah, so read that one, and then I think Dusty should do the dictionary.
I agree. I that's the order I had as well. So general order says, you, a man, think you're an expert on how women refer to their own genitalia. I understand what you're saying. Women are taking issue with it. And you fail to understand that. Get it?
He's just mansplaining and pussy-splaining.
And I love dictionary.com. Their boss. They always come on to fucking dunk on people.
And they literally do the, well, actually, that's genius.
Well, actually, vulva, non-plural vulva, anatomy, the external female genitalia.
That is boss, as you said. That's great.
And someone spotted this, which made people smile. He's a teacher. Oh my God. He's got a PhD. What? Hell no.
The University of Chicago and the University of California, Berkeley. Oh, wow.
What is he? What is he an editor of? Mansplaining magazine?
It might be. It might be. So yeah, then there's that fucking guy.
Yeah, that was.
But hero, MRA hero, standing up to the women's. Somebody's got to do it.
Tell them that their vagina is their vagina, not their vulva. It's all vagina.
I like it all. I like the vagina. I like the vulva, inside, outside. It's all good.
Well, someone put that on a poster. Kristi Winters. It's all vagina.
Yeah, and 3 pumps is enough.
3 pumps is enough. Yeah.
It's all vagina.
Oh, this has been more than a happy hour, but this has been a lot of fun.
Yep. Good conversation. You guys are cool.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on again.
Well, invite me. I'll come back.
Yeah, this is the first time we've really interacted. We've messaged back and forth, but this is technically our first time meeting.
Oh, so you're new. Me and Dusty go way back. I've had Dusty on my channel before. It's all good.
Way back when you're insulting me. You insulted me.
Technically, I did. Yes.
You said I was lame.
No, I didn't say
lame.
I said all I said was that the hand sign you do was cringe. That's all I said.
That means lame.
It does.
I love my logic side. Logic. Fuck yes. It's the coolest thing ever, dude. Ever. There's never fucking been anything cooler in the history of mankind. Take it back immediately.
No, Donald Trump's cooler, definitely.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. I'm throwing some fucking shade around.
Last time I was on, everybody was really drunk. I did the election show. Did I do the election show with you, or was that somebody else? Was that Kristi else?
That's right. You're right. No, I stand
did,
corrected. Yeah, you did join us for that, but it was like a group thing, so I didn't really feel like
we had Aaron Ra. I was trying to babysit Aaron Ra's drunk ass. That was fun.
He was hammered.
He's intense when he's drunk, man. Fucking hell.
Yes.
Anyway,
I had to quit drinking.
Is he always that intense?
I don't know.
Dusty, have you met him?
Aaron Ra, yes, I've met him in person, and he's pretty cool in person, but very intimidating and huge. That's my imitation of him. It's horrible, but that's what he sounds like to me.
That was cute.
It's kind of like Batman.
Aaron Ra could be Batman.
He could be. He's the mask. Big old tall Batman. Yeah, him and his wife, real nice. They were cool dudes. I liked them.
Yeah, Lalandra's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, are we just doing fucking small talk, or are we going now?
Yeah,
What's
we're gonna
happening?
wrap it up. So, I guess what we could do, if you wanted, because we have a guest, we could ask the chat if they have any questions.
Got any questions for Evil Dusty?
Yeah,
But who cares what the chat think, really?
I'm
The
hated by
chat are
all
just-
sides.
they're all
woke people
typing
hate
now
me.
because I said it. Yeah, they all want.
Anti-SJWs hate me. I'm a man
So-
without a country.
Give it a second. All I have is what is it with Kevin and Drunks joining him on chats? I think that was Jeff Holiday. Did you see the Jeff Holiday appearance while we wait for any questions for?
I read about it.
You should
I
watch
read
it.
I read it did not go well for him, and he was embarrassed. He was like, "I gotta quit drinking on live stream."
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
If you want a good laugh, honestly, if you're feeling a little blue, put on Jeff Holiday Crash. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I still kind of hold a little grudge against him for the whole Pepe shit that he helped in the whole.
Yeah.
Wasn't he responsible for a lot of that? I know he took credit for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I did. I had to bring that up during the thing because he was going on about not being able to move with the times or something, and I said you were literally pushing that shit years later. And I had to push on him the Kekistani Strangler. I basically placed that at his door.
Yeah, he was really defensive when I used to make fun of him about that. Now, of course, I guess he's distanced himself from it because he realized how cringe it all was.
Yeah.
God, that whole thing was so cringe. Still cringe, but it's kind of dead now.
Happily, yeah, they've moved on from that completely.
So, any tough questions for me? I will answer anything. Literally anything you ask me, I will answer. I have no secrets.
First of all, Sabrina says, "Fuck you, Kevin." And
I'm
then
with Sabrina. Fuck you, Kevin.
Hang on, did that have a question mark at the end? Because that would change.
Was it,
that would
no
change the context.
was it a statement or an offer?
Was it a request?
There's no punctuation, so I guess it's how you read it.
It's ambivalent.
So I think this is for Dusty. What do you think about Comicsgate dealing with Proud Boy members?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
I know what the Proud Boys are, and I wish Joe Rogan wouldn't keep platforming these assholes, but I don't know what Comicsgate is.
Basically, Gamergate for comics.
Oh God, that sounds awesome. Then,
yeah,
basically. Oh, if you want another Kevin owning somebody someone just screaming at him and being hysterical, check out Ethan Van Sciver Halen. Actually, it's just Ethan Van Sciver. You just check out Kevin's channel, and for the Kraut and Jeff Holiday video, and then the Ethan Van Sciver is thirsty as fuck, and then his actual appearance, because those are internet legendary hangouts.
Well, because people come onto my channel thinking, "Oh, he's an SJW, I'm going to dunk on him," and I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Before we go, I just want to ask, what's wrong with killing children? I mean, can we really discuss this seriously?
Well, I've got to give it to baby murderers. What they've got. Oh, no, I'm only joking.
All right, so Jenna asks for Kristi, are you Hufflepuff? Yeah, I'm Team Hufflepuff because of my profile.
Oh, fuck off with that nerd shit. Jesus. Get out of my fucking house.
Another question to me. We said Dusty, but they're coming at me. How do I feel about Eurovision? I think it's lovely. I think it's hilarious camp every year. I get into.
Well, it is, but this year specifically, there will be a video coming out involving me where we're asking people to boycott it because it's being held in Israel. So that's a thing that's going to be happening. But generally, I like Eurovision as well. But I don't want it to support the genocide of Palestinians, ideally.
Why?
Yeah, what's wrong with genociding Palestinians?
Who cares?
Yeah. So, Dusty, Dorian asks why you left Colorado. Why did you leave Colorado?
Oh, God.
You did a video on this, right? I think I saw this video you did on this, and it was really honest, and I really admired you for that honesty.
Was it because you and the state had a rocky relationship? Oh, come on now.
Boo. I'm going to hiss you on that one. So many reasons. Like, I got a divorce, first of all. My channel kind of cost me my marriage a bit.
I feel slightly bad for that joke. Then, Jesus.
You should be ashamed. I was in a bad place in my life. Basically, I kind of became semi-famous on the internet, started acting like a goddamn jerk, and had all these women messaging me, so I started being unfaithful to my wife. And so, unsurprisingly, she left me. So then I decided, hey, I'll move to Denver, and I'll live the single life like a fucking rock star. And I went out there and kind of became a total douche for a while. And I didn't like the person I'd become, really. And so I'm the type of person, if I don't like something about myself, I change it. So I realized I wasn't going in the right direction, decided to change the direction of my life. So that was a big part of the reason I left Colorado. I mean, it's a long story, but it boils down to that. And also, I was getting I just put up my video about Islam. If you're Muslim, you're retarded, which I'm not sure I would call it that these days because I know the R word is problematic. But that video went semi-viral, and I started getting a lot of death threats, and people knew where I was living. And so it was a combination of things. But after that, I kind of went into hiding for a little bit. I bought an RV, and I left Denver and drove from state to state, staying at RV parks and hiding so I wouldn't be murdered. And so it's a complicated question, to be honest with you.
Okay. Something not quite as heavy. Dusty, do you like Mountain Dew?
Nah. I'm a redneck, but not that type of redneck. I'm not one of the mountain people who are addicted to Mountain Dew. I drink tea with Splenda in it. That's all I drink.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I have my mom sent me some Crystal Light powder.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm always watching my weight. I was a fat kid, and I'm always fucking trying to diet and watch my weight. So that's what I drink all the time. It's pretty good.
How does Kevin feel about being banned from the chat? Were you banned from the chat, Kevin?
Oh.
Was I? Well, hang on. No, I've got a wrench. I can't be banned.
Kevin, you dress up every Sunday as a footballer, so don't knock nerds, you Slytherin. Oh, okay.
Actually, it's mostly on Saturdays. So fuck you.
How is your animal sanctuary doing? HK wants to know.
It's doing awesome. Right now we have 10 cats and 7 dogs. As some of you might know, I rescue animals. We take animals that are in danger of being put down, and we give them a permanent home. And so that's pretty much what I make my videos for nowadays. I make them to fund my animal sanctuary. And so pretty much I spend all my days cleaning up pee and poo and playing with kittens. But it's cool. That's what I wanted to do. Like when I was in Colorado, I didn't feel like I was a very good person. I felt like I was really selfish, and I really wanted to do something better with my life where I could feel like I was making a difference. So I started the Humanist Society of Mississippi Animal Sanctuary so I can both take care of animals and also spread the message of humanism. Try to set a good example here in Mississippi to show people that humanists and atheists are not, evil, horrible Satan worshipers like we've been billed to be, but we're actually kind of decent people. So, I try to do that, try to make a good impression on people around here.
That's cool.
Yeah. Is there a place where people can donate to your...
Well, you go to my Patreon, patreon.com/cultofdusty, or you can go to cultofdusty.com and you can buy a t-shirt, and all proceeds pretty much go to my animal sanctuary.
Or you can just contact Dusty and ask for his PayPal and give him money like I did.
You could. Every video of mine has my PayPal direct link in the description. So if you want to send me donations, that would be much appreciated, and I will buy dog food and cat food with it.
Yep. So G Whistler wants to know, Dusty, who would win in a fight between Chic and Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Between Chic?
The band?
Oh, I have no clue. I've never heard of that band. Who is Chic?
Freak Out.
Is that a new band?
Freak Out.
Oh, okay.
You're a freak. Say Chic.
I think that's before my time. I'm an 80s child.
Okay.
Talk to me about fucking... I can't even think of any 80s band now.
Flock of Seagulls.
Flock of Seagulls. That's even before my time, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. How about Aha?
Aha. Okay, I know Aha.
All right.
I was more like Sir Mix-a-Lot, that kind of stuff. That's what I grew up on. So, baby got back. Little middle.
I do. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Someone sent me a Twitter thing just as an update. Apparently, the 55 miles accounts for 4.6% of the overall length of the border.
Winning.
4.6%.
You're going to get tired of all this winning.
Like that. That's almost a sarcastically small amount of the fucking border.
Yeah. I used to not really like Nancy Pelosi so much, but she's really growing on me. With her
she's kicking ass. Oh, her hate clap was amazing.
Yeah.
That is. People, that should become a thing, the Nancy clap. Whenever someone does something dumb, give them a Nancy clap. Definitely.
Do you know what her daughter said about her when she became speaker again? Did you see that quote?
I did not.
She knows, and she knows that you know? Or
no, it's she'll cut your head off and you won't even know until it fell off or you're bleeding or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Fuck,
that is
grim.
Yeah. But when that hate clap, that was a slice of the sword, just slicing Donald, because she became a meme, in that moment.
And he didn't even notice.
Yeah,
he didn't even notice how obviously sarcastic she was being.
So
she's clapping for me, bigly.
Yeah.
Her lips are so pursed, and she's tilted her head so much to be like that slow clap, but she can't slow clap him. So she hate claps him.
And it's so much more effective. Like, you kind of wanted to just flip the bird, but it's so much more effective to just do a sarcastic clap because it's so delightful. It's so like, oh fuck you, Donald, you piece of shit. But without without actually having to disgrace the office or whatever.
Especially after that speech he gave, which is just so frustrating to listen to. It's like he does one thing and then calls for the exact opposite. It's like he'll come in front of a group of people and he'll kill a horse and he'll give a speech about how killing horses are bad. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? You literally just killed a horse in front of everybody.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Fake
Calling
news.
for-
I did not kill a horse. It's disgraceful.
The horse was already dead when we got here.
Or CNN just want to talk about killing horses because I'm trying to save America.
Fake news.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to take this up or not, but Nali Fleur says Eurovision is about overcoming nationalism. So why would you want to boycott it? Do you want to save that for the video, Kevin?
There's no point saving it for the video as such because I'll just address it here. It's not specifically about overcoming nationalism. It's about bringing people together and stuff. But there are some ways in which a nation can act, which I don't think ever should be considered worthy of that kind of event. So I support the boycott, divestment, and sanctions regime against Israel because I want to drive genocide from it in the same way that it did for South Africa. So I don't think, in the same way that sports teams didn't tour South Africa under apartheid, I don't think cultural events should be taking place in Israel either.
You know what's fucked up? When I was a kid, these pro-apartheid people literally came to my school and gave a speech about how great apartheid. I swear that happened.
Fucking hell.
They were basically saying if we end apartheid, black people are going to be raping white women everywhere, and so we have to. And I was like, of course, I went to a school where the mascot was a plantation owner. So no, I shit you not, literally a fucking plantation
1860s. What the fuck?
It's still they still have the same mascot today. It's still a plantation owner. So.
Yeah, the Tennessee cotton pickers. Like, what the fuck?
We were the rebels.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
The Rebs. And our mascot was the plantation owner.
I don't know. Dusty, do you ever feel like people should mention, not people from the North maybe, but just
America
people...
is so racist.
Like, do you think we need some, like, sort of the North kick the Southern ass pride when people want to pull out the Confederate flag? I mean, I don't know how, I'm aggressive maybe in my confrontation of this, but when blackface and the Confederate flag, all that stuff is in a line. And yet having a day to Robert E. Lee, still, I mean,
it's just the thing. Most of the people around here, they don't even understand the history of it. They have no idea. Like, they literally don't know that slavery was the reason Mississippi claimed that they were seceding from the Union. Like, repeatedly, if you read the articles of secession from Mississippi, they give like 20 reasons, and 15 of them mention slavery, including the first one that says the reason we're leaving is slavery. People around here, they don't understand that. They think that the South fought for states' rights, which they did. They fought for the states' rights to own slaves, but they don't see that part. They think they were heroically standing up to the government and fighting for freedom, and they don't understand like the monuments and stuff were put up by the Daughters of the Confederate to demonize and to discourage black people. When they were trying to get civil rights, they don't understand the history behind these things because they're idiots.
And the schools don't teach it.
I genuinely don't know why it's even allowed that you would have essentially traitors against your nation have statues. It's bizarre to me that Americans would ever put up with that, but there you go.
I mean, the thing is, even if these people were heroes, these statues, are we going to have the same statue, the same people up for the next 10,000 years? Are we never going to ever replace these monuments? Like, is no one ever in the history going to do something more worthy of being recognized and have these monuments replaced? I mean, it's just stupid. Should we have, like, I think every 20 years, we should replace these monuments with whatever heroes we have in our society, like good teachers and scientists who help extend life and cure shit,
Well, what I want to know is, where are all the statues to Snooker?
They're in my bedroom.
I don't want to know what they're made out of. Oh, God.
Fleshlights with pictures taped to them. Okay.
Pretty much. Nailed it.
So, by the way, Madeline says, good for you, Dusty. But then Madeline also says, accept that word. Maybe it was the R word. And then, by the way, David Skog says, in terms of Kevin, I banned him hard. So,
you fucking wish.
Crapo says, animal sanctuary, good for you, dog. No pun intended. To Dusty.
It's mostly cats, but whatever.
Well, the thing, are you collecting so many that you're going to put together a cats versus dog football team situation?
Like a Super Bowl thing.
Yeah.
Cats versus dogs bowl. No, I got my money on the dogs, to be honest with you. I got some big ass dogs. Usually the dogs that are more up for being killed at the animal sanctuary, not sanctuary, but anyway, the ones that are most likely to be killed are the giant black dogs, and so we have a lot of those around here.
Well, all I'm going to say is the only way to get around that is steroids for the cats.
I'm on
Harry
it.
Bonds that.
Cat steroids.
Some random geek put the link to your video about leaving Colorado in the chat so people can go watch your video. So, you know, driving traffic to your channel too while you're here.
Awesome. Spread my legend.
We're trying. A question for Dusty from some random geek. Has he learned anything new about the Covington kids? I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, that's the MAGA hat kids that the Indian guy went up and banged his drum in their face. Yeah, actually, the lawyers for the kids released a new 15-minute video recently that's really fucking damning. I don't want to I hate to be the guy that's defending these MAGA hats kids because they're little shits. They're out at a anti-choice rally trying to take a woman's choice away from her, and so I don't have any affinity towards these little assholes whatsoever. But the situation was so ridiculous. The incredible outrage over basically nothing, in my opinion, made liberals look really bad. And so somebody had to speak out against it. So I chose to do so. But yeah, if anybody wants to watch that 15-minute video the lawyers put out, it's very clear the Indian guy lied his ass off repeatedly about what happened. The video proves that he lied. And sadly, the little smirking kid, acted like much more of an adult than the Indian guy did if you watch the real footage, in my opinion.
Okay, so next question is, I don't know if Kevin wants to jump in on that, but otherwise we've got important questions coming up here. Because Dorian...
Yeah.
No?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Dorian's trying again with the musical battles. The Cars or B-52s?
Cars. Who's going to drive me home tonight?
That is a great song.
Magic.
Yeah, but hang on. Whoa. Love Shack.
Love Shack, baby, love Shack. Tin roof.
Busted. HK asked, which song would we do on which song would Kev do on karaoke? But then Chrisiosity upped that to say, what would they all do on karaoke? So I don't know if you want to start, Dusty, because you're the guest. What song would you do?
Runaway by Kanye. I sent a bitch a picture of my email. I didn't do it right. That's my favorite song. I love Kanye.
All right. Kevin, this is going to be an interesting whip round. What song would you do?
Well, because of my incredible vocal range, Bohemian Rhapsody.
All the parts, or would you invite friends up to help?
All of the parts. You just got to crush your bollocks for the high bits. It's all good.
So my favorite song to do on karaoke is "Crazy" by Patsy Cline.
Crazy for you. I'm so crazy.
So let's see. Any other things? Yeah, it is a classic, and it is a lot of fun to sing.
Do you nail it?
It depends on how drunk I am.
Yeah, I nail the shit out of it. People stand up and they give me they throw their panties at me.
So now some random geek is joining in. Dusty Smith, Poison or Motley Crue?
Oh God, Poison. I'd have to say Poison.
Okay. Do you prefer kittens or puppies?
Oh God. I love them both. Cats are easier to take care of because they don't eat their own shit. So, but I love them all.
Aw. Let's see. I'm just scrolling down because they've been writing a lot. If I missed anybody's questions, I'm sorry. So stop asking questions because we have other things to do with our life.
Shut the fuck up, chat. I want to go fucking eat.
There's not really personal questions either. I thought there'd be like something about my dick size or something.
No, our chat's pretty nice. They're pretty friendly.
Well, you already revealed 12 inches earlier.
Oh, that's true. I did reveal
gospel,
the truth that it is 12 inches.
Exactly.
Well, somebody asked what Americans or Brits have heard about Slovakia, but I don't know if I want to answer that question because it won't make me look good.
Nothing. No offense, but Slovakia never ever comes up unless you've got like a terrorist thing going down. Even then, it's going to be like 4th or 5th on the agenda. Very low. No offense to Slovakia, that's just the truth.
It's my favorite country. So,
where is it, Dusty?
I want to say in Brazil. I don't know. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Okay. You're not that much of an American.
Yeah. Is
I
it
do have
over
a-
near the,
I do have
is
a
it over
Mississippi
near the
education.
Iraq? It's by the Iraq.
The
Definitely.
Iraqs. They don't have enough flags in the Iraqs.
Well-
Such as
Well, apparently we're stepping all over TJ1's stream because he started, so we should wrap this
Who?
up. The janitor, the one janitor.
okay, I know who that is.
Who's the only other Kevin living in Birmingham ever, but he's in Alabama. No,
I thought you were talking about the other TJ. I was gonna say, fuck that. Who cares?
Oh no, not that. No, not that guy. No, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks for sticking around. Shaving our hairy vestibules. That sounds like our chat. That sounds like our chat. So, guys, shaved our hairy vestibules.
I like a little landing strip.
Half and
Okay.
half.
And on that bombshell. Ladies, for Kevin, now you know. And gents, too. Carl, take notes. Right. So, I want to thank our
Yeah,
guests.
exactly. I want one clean-shaven testicle, Carl.
We joke, sort of, that Carl has a big crush on Kevin because he keeps trying to get his attention and talking about him.
Oh, Carl wants me all up in him.
He's just tired of being
disgusting.
owned.
Yeah.
That's really the.
He's
He knows
he's
he's been
filth.
owned so many times by you guys, and he's like, well, eventually, maybe I won't be owned.
Yeah. He's
I'll
just
keep
like,
trying it, but
spit on me, Kev. Spit on me. Oh, call me a dirty whore.
Well,
He's a
Carl was
masochist.
talking about Kevin back when he was hanging out with Milo before he was booted out. So this thing's been going on for years. and
Yeah,
Carl's-
for years, since 2015. Yeah, he's been thirsting for the KD.
He's done a
So-
couple of videos about me, but I have not seen them yet. Apparently, we're going to watch them in my new podcast, The Gotcha Boys, and we're going to comment.
Oh
on
yeah, you should.
Yeah,
probably
you want to
talk about
promo
yeah.
that?
Yeah, me and Vadim, Creationist Cat, and Tim the Motivator are all working on a new podcast called The Gotcha Boys. We've been in pre-production for 19 years now. And eventually, we're going to get it all set up. We did some testing last night. And so next week, I guess, is our first show. So keep a lookout for that.
Where's it going to be?
I think the first episode is going to be on the Creationist Cat channel. We have our own channel, but we're going to actually put it on his channel first and then get more people to go sign up to it. So you can check it out on the Creationist Cat channel.
Okay, and then are you guys going to be on like Podbean or?
Yeah, we'll be everywhere. We'll be all over the place, but I don't really have the links for that yet because we haven't like shot it yet.
Yeah, so just people know and to watch for it, and that you can get it in multiple media.
And
It's coming.
I found out that about Trumpy Bear as well.
Media.
The Trumpy Bear thing.
Trumpy Bear. I love Trumpy Bear. I have
Yeah.
sex with mine.
Vadim
Anally.
bought a Trumpy Bear, and it's one of the Patreon goals or something that he's going to burn it. So that's
Oh
it.
yeah. Gracious Cat. He bought one for some reason, I guess for a video or whatnot. So
So does that mean you have one fleshlight with Snooki and the other one with the Trumpy Bear on it?
yes, I have an anal sex Trumpy Bear. I have the anal fleshlight. They come. I don't know if you know about fleshlight, but they come in different styles. They come with anal. They come with lips, vaginas. They do. True story. So I have the anal one, and strange that I
That
have
one's
it in
for
the bear's
Trumpy.
mouth. So I don't know why I do that, but that's my thing.
And on that mental image, that's going to be the end of our show, everybody. I want to thank our very special guest, Dusty, for joining us. This was really a lot of fun, and we'll definitely have to have you on again. This was a great time.
Love you guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and if you
Thank
want to hang around, just stick around for the end, and then we can just sign off after. But go and check out, of course, the link in the chat that goes to Dusty's channel. Go check out his other content and watch for the podcast. Kevin, you have anything you want to shill?
Peace, love, and harmony between all peoples of the earth.
All right. Well, that's a nice thing.
He means logic. Fuck yes, which is not at all cringy.
He does. He does in a way, but in another way, not so much. Yeah, that's
Yeah. And as for me, I'm off to for a business trip to
logic,
Venice.
motherfuckers.
And maybe I'll do a video postcard, but otherwise I'll see you guys on the Sunday live show. So
Where are you off to, Krista?
actually, fuck you.
What?
I did say, didn't I? I'm off to
No.
Venice.
Oh, I thought you said you were off on a business trip.
I am off on a business trip to Venice.
Oh yeah, you just happen to be going to one of the most beautiful cities in the world for business. Fuck off.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I moved to Denver for business, not for the weed. For the business.
Right. I am going for the gondolas. Yeah, it's going to be mostly sat in a work.
Gondolas full of cock. Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
take pictures for you.
Thanks.
So, I think you guys and the
Little fact for you. A little fact. This is genuinely true. There are more miles of canal in Birmingham, where I live, than there are in Venice. That is
Well-
literally true. I mean, ours are disgusting, and you wouldn't ever want to go near. If you go near them, you get cancer and AIDS.
I'm
and
pretty sure the ones in
stabbed.
Venice are disgusting. You're not allowed to be in them as well. So I can
No, but
report.
I'm not just talking about the actual water. I'm talking about just going there. They're fucking disgusting, dilapidated shit. And full
So-
of people with fucking heroin needles hanging out their arms who will stab you as soon as they see you. Fucking awful. But there are more miles, technically, than Venice.
Great. And on that cheery note,
And now you wonder why I want to kill all of humanity.
thanks to the people in the chat for putting up with Kevin.
Yeah, thank you. That's just a general comment. That is not just tonight, just in general, yeah.
Because Kevin has been a handful tonight. But a lot of fun. Goodbye from me. And goodbye from Dusty. Say goodbye, Dusty.
Goodbye, Dusty.
And goodbye.
He did the bit!
He did the bit. And say goodbye, Kevin.
Goodbye, Kevin.
He did the bit. He did the bit, you guys.
We all did the bit.
Yay. Bye.